Guys, here we are. It is Tuesday night and we are one day closer to Liverpool versus Spurs, or Spurs versus Liverpool, depending on what your preference is. Welcome to tonight's late night agenda. I'm your host Craig. As always, this is your show. You let me know what you want to talk about. You let me know the Liverpool related topics that are going around in your head and that you just have to get out there. You want to chat about, you want to discuss with other Reds. We said it before, we'll say it again. This is your show. The late night agenda is all about what Liverpool fans out there in the world want to discuss, whether it be the game against Spurs, whether it be the kits, whatever it might be, the international break. This is your show, guys. I see Joseph has joined us in the chat already. Joseph, how are you, sir? Great to have you in with us. England, of course, won tonight. More importantly, though, Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold got through the game okay, as did Sheridan Shaqiri. So, fingers crossed, guys, no more injuries picked up by Liverpool players along the way. We get everybody back safe and sound. Brazil are playing again before we can really, wave this one off. But hopefully all the players come back safe and sound. Kloppo gets them in, gets the team as much coaching as they can. And let's be honest, a lot of it's going to be just rest, recuperation, and video work and stuff like that. James is in, True Morgan's in, Corey's in, Imran's in. Luke, how are you guys? Great to see you again. I hope you've enjoyed your Tuesday. Have you watched any of the international football? Did you watch the England game perhaps? Because I thought it was boring as fuck, if I'm being honest. England have to give up this trying to play the ball out from the back. I know we're not on here to talk about Liverpool. I know we're on here to talk about we're not on here to talk about England. Excuse me. We're on here to talk about Liverpool. But that was all that was on offer today. So I did sit through it. I did break my usual rule of not watching international football, and my God, it reminded me why I didn't watch it. It was awful, absolutely awful. I did flick on to Spain though, to be fair. Guys, is my internet dropping out again? Can you let me know? Imran said my internet dropped out again. Is it happening to anybody else, or is it just Imran? Just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know, guys, if the internet's dropping out there, because Imran said it's gone. No, it's all good, said Will. No, it's all good, yeah. Looking all good. Thank God. Imran, you're frightening me, buddy. I don't know, maybe you need to check your internet at this point. I'm getting stressed. The internet's working all fine at my end. But anyway, we digress. Let's talk about Liverpool, guys, because that's why we're here. Happy birthday, Craig. I hope you had a word. Liverpool boys are getting your Premier League title. Expected delivery around April, but I could have to wait till May. That's alright, Luke. I'm in no rush, mate. I've been able to wait 28 years for a league title. It doesn't matter if I have to wait a little bit more, but thank you for ordering that for me, mate. And I will hold you to it. Come April or May, Luke, I'll be looking for that league title, buddy. Hi, I'm new. Liverpool, our boss. King Mo Salah. That name looks familiar. We've had a few of those in. Are you really new? Are you? Tell the truth. Sorry, have to go. Popped in till I go to work. Bye bye, Red, said Luke. For 4 seconds. Imran, I think you're making this stuff up sometimes, buddy, because my internet's working absolutely tickety-boo. As I said yesterday, we won really fast internet here and nobody else had me drop out, so I don't know, buddy. I really don't know. I think Hendo needs a trim, Craig. He has flux in the chin and grey bombs are floating sub last week. I don't know what you mean by needs a trim. If you need a fucking haircut, then that ain't my thing. Or are you talking about he has flux in the chin and grey bombs? Man, speak fucking English. We're here to speak English. Remember, when you're talking to me on here, guys, I am an old bastard. So all this newfangled shortened words and fucking stuff like that, just treat me like I'm an idiot. That's the best way to go about this. Treat the old man like he's an idiot. Ethan Craig said, Papa, how are you, sir? Good result tonight for England and Liverpool, Craig, but you need to get that. You owe me a tenner, man. Fuck up about this tenner. It's really starting to annoy me because I've no fucking idea what you're talking about with this tenner. If anything, I reckon you owe me a tenner for my time at this point, so get your fucking wallet out. Time to pay the piper. Craig, do you think Liverpool... Yeah, no, that's not English either. I love Neymar Island. Your generation, guys, you should be ashamed of yourself. Some of the fucking your generation just need to learn basic words. Seriously, like just write a sentence, write it out properly, full stop. Write another sentence, write it out. Seriously, I give up. I give up. I'm not reading out anything that isn't actually fucking English at this point. Hi Frankie, how are you? Hi Mike, great to see you guys. Verge put Kane on the floor. The baddie boy up the red, said the Revenant. I'm really looking forward to this game on Saturday, guys. The more it goes on, the more it gets closer, the more I'm getting excited about it. And I've gone through all the phases. I've gone from nervous to hyped back to nervous, but I'm back to hyped, I think, at this moment in time. I do, Mike, I do, yeah, absolutely. The rubber chicken's on special offer, Mike. If you buy it this week, I'll throw in the helmet. So if you want them both, mate, you can have them both at a knockdown price. Just send me an email, mate, to stoptalkingbollocks@outlook.com and we'll sort it out from there. Could someone tell me how Spurs got injured so quickly? Again, Cameron, mate, or Imran, mate, no idea what that means. Can someone tell me how Spurs got injured so quickly? Oof, it's gone over my head. Joseph said there's another King Mo on here, that's all. There's two, Joseph, mate, there's two other King Mo's. We booted one out because he was an arsehole. And then there, of course, is the King Mo, who's an absolute gent. Tottenham can't come quick enough, had enough of this garbage, so there's the international break, says Will. Oh man, I'm with you. But look, we've got through it. We've helped each other out and we've got through it. The international break is pretty much done and dusted. I think Brazil still have to play, but other than that, I think we're safe. Alright, Frank. What's the story, James? Joe, Frank, just anything. Just call me Baldy and I'll be grand, that'll do. Throw any random name out there, I'll respond to it. Finally we can start to count down to Saturday, said Luke. Absolutely, mate, absolutely. It's look, fuck this international football, guys. We're heading to Anfield South at the weekend, because that's what Wembley is, let's be honest. It's Anfield South. This should hold no fear for us. Spurs are a good team, but as you guys have pointed out to me during the week and on numerous streams, you just don't know what to expect from at this moment in time, because they're not hitting the ground running so far this season. Harry Kane hasn't been great. Dele Alli's stop-start. Eriksen's been good, to be fair. And Lucas Moura's been okay, but we're more than capable of going there and getting the 3 points. The more I think this through, the less worried I'm getting. And the more hyped I'm getting. Although I'm saying this, I could be on here tomorrow and I could have reversed it again. This is the joys of time in between football games, isn't it? It gives you that momentum or that time to think yourself into a stupor. Indian music, mate. You come on it, try and get the screen settled rather than letting it lag and bounce. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Indian music. Honest to God. No idea what you're talking about, mate. Honestly, if you have a suggestion, put it in plain English or tell me what to do. Otherwise, I honestly haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Try and get the screen to settle rather than letting it lag and bounce. No fucking clue what you're talking about. Fabinho, Firmino and Alisson are expected to be rested for the Brazil game, so that's good. That's alright, King Mo. We can't have too many King Mo's, buddy. You don't ever feel you have to apologise, man. I wasn't having a go. King Mo's a beautiful name, so you're welcome to the channel. Great to have another one. Okay, Mike, well done. Congratulations on that one. At the bottom of my garden is a family of very nasty, vicious badgers. Is it okay to use a stick to get rid of them in self-defence? Mate, shoot them for all I care. I don't give a fuck. Go down there, beat them one by one. Couldn't give a fuck, Mike. Whatever you want to do, mate. Whatever floats your boat. Go ahead. You've got my permission. Did Miggs come back early to try and worm his way into the Spurs game? I think that would require a lot of worming, Lee. Jesus, man, that would require some amount of worming, wouldn't it? God almighty. I often thought to myself, does he have pictures of Klopp or something? There was no reason why he should have still been at the club at one point. Or getting game time when he was getting it. But look, it doesn't matter. He's not going to get a game. So he can come back early all he wants. He can make Klopp sandwiches and cut the crusts off. He's still not getting a start in this game. We all know it. Alisson's the boy. Alisson's the man. LFC will win against Spurs. I have every confidence in LFC victory. Just have to look at the Liverpool team. The stream is fine. What are you on about? Every night, every single night, this dude comes in, criticises, doesn't follow up his criticism, and then fucks off again. Every single night, guys. Every night, without fail. I feel like Klopp will have something to prove after last year's defeat at Wembley. Actually, do you know what? I could be arse dealing with him anymore, so bear with me. Why? Gone. If everybody else is having no trouble with the stream, can we just get an okay on that one? Then we'll get stuck into tonight's show. Is everybody getting the stream okay? Is it okay at your end? Is it lagging or is it fine? Because I just want to make sure everybody's happy and we're content to go before we push on, because I don't want anybody having issues or I don't want anybody having technical issues are from my end. So just give me a thumbs up, guys, if you're all okay. Stream's fine. It's okay, said Imran. Stream's fine, said Nick. Grant. Away we go. How was your birthday gone, Craig? It's been fine, thank you, Vinny. Nice quiet one. Some nice time with the family, which is all you want. Well, when you get to my age, that's certainly all you want. The days of partying are going to the pub are going out well and truly behind me. Yeah, it's good. All good, mate. Had a nice quiet one, thank you. I want to see VVD back pocket Neymar, said Lalu. As do I. As do I. And he's capable of it. You know we can do it. We've seen him do it during the week for well, did we see him do it? Am I being a bit optimistic? We've seen him put in a good challenge against Mbappe during the week. Whether he quite put him in his back pocket or not, I don't know, but let's say he did. Just be biased here. Let's say he totally did. Would you rotate the midfield three between Saturday and Tuesday if they're all fit? Yes. Do you know what, mate? I probably would. And don't ask me who or how, but I probably would, because a Saturday, Tuesday, and then on to a Saturday again. That's, yeah, I'd say you're definitely going to see some rotation. At a guess, I would say we may see Milner, Gini Wijnaldum and Keita on Saturday. And possibly Henderson to come back in for Tuesday. Maybe we'll see some time for Fabinho on Tuesday. I don't know. But yeah, you probably nailed that one, Luke. There probably will be some rotation there in the midfield at least. Neil said, Craig, I think Saturday is a game for Sturridge. He's fresh. He looks in great shape. Leave Firmino on the bench, and he's been away all week. Early kickoff as well. I don't know, man. That's a big call, to be fair, Neil. That is a big call. I'd rather hang off the Sturridge till the game against Chelsea, to be fair, if I was going to give him a run out. This one seems too big of a game for me to be taking Firmino out. I know Firmino hasn't hit the heights that we'd hoped yet, but he still does a lot. A lot that I don't think we'll get out of Daniel Sturridge with regards to press and with regards to making those unselfish runs to bring other players into the game. And look, don't get me wrong, Sturridge is capable of runs. Clearly, he's a very clever forward, but I think there's a little bit more to what Bobby Firmino does. I think he allows Salah to have the space that he has at time. But I do agree with you that he hasn't quite hit his heights yet. Every live stream by anyone lags at the start and then goes fine when the connection is stable. I don't know. I've just fucking booted him out because I'm sick of listening to him, Lee, if I'm being honest. If everybody was having issues, great. I understand it's my fault. It's at our end. But every single night he came in moaning about something and nobody else was having issues. So look, I've had enough. Me tried to be nice, but me can't be nice no more. We've probably won more games at Wembley over the years than Spurs have, said Papa. That's it, man. It's Wembley South, or it's Anfield South. It's our gaff. Spurs are only renting it. We own the shit. We own the show down there. The Reds just show up once every couple of years, win shit and fuck off. Spurs go down there and, you know, they dawdle over shit, take too long. Can't even build their own stadium in time. I hope to God we pick up the 3 points at the weekend. Spurs have quickly turned it into a team that I really despise. I respect their style of football. I really respect their manager, but as a group of fans and as a group of players, that as humans, well, what they come across like as humans, I don't like these dudes one bit, not at all. The fans are trying to invent a rivalry that simply isn't there, as you all know. I mean, Spurs are fucking pretty irrelevant to us. What have they ever done? What challenges have we ever had with them over the years? They're a nothing club. They're a club that are trying to establish themselves and failing, because all that, yes, they're getting Champions League football, but they're not winning fuck all. Manchester City are making a good stab at establishing themselves. Chelsea have really established themselves over the past 10 or 15 years. What have Spurs done? Fuck all. Spurs game vital for the momentum going into a period of basically a big game every 3 days. Exciting times. Sick of this 1 game a week shit, says where was the comment gone? Nabil Rylands. Was it Nabil Rylands? It was Nabil Rylands, sorry. It's great from a fan perspective, Nabil, isn't it, when you get those 2 games a week, but from Klopp's perspective, it starts becoming a massive headache when you're having to churn around players that quickly. I suppose I'd much rather the Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday than the Thursday, Sunday. Don't ask me why. Psychologically, it just seems better. Obviously, it's better because you're in the fucking Champions League. Like that's the obvious part. But there was something about them Thursday, Sunday games, wasn't there? Teams just can't seem to get up for the game of the weekend. It's perfect. He should get his internet fixed. Check your ping and packet loss. I've checked mine, man. As I said, we get, I think the last speed check I done was 84 and the ping was around, I don't know what the ping was actually. Actually, I couldn't tell you. So I'm going to fucking do one now while I'm online. Hello, Craig. I think that guy can't work as Garrick's agent. Happy birthday, mate. Well, firstly, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I do appreciate the birthday wishes. Thankfully, it's almost over because all it is when you get to my age is just another day to remind you that you're getting old. That's how sad it is, guys. Another day just to remind me that I'm getting old. I'm trying to find the speed test so I can do it here while I'm online with you guys just to make sure. Right, so bear with me. Where are you, you stupid fuck? Right, what else we got? I'm looking for PSG game, home or away first. It's a home, mate. It's a home on Tuesday, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is a game to let people know we've arrived. Let people know the Reds are back in Europe. Obviously, they know from last season because we got to the final, but just to show it wasn't any fluke. Right, let's do the speed test while we're online. I know a Man City fan who holds an incredibly strong hate for Liverpool. Not a day goes by without me hearing something about how good City apparently are and how bad he thinks Liverpool are. Fuck him. Fuck him, mate. That's the only advice I can give you. I don't understand. I mean, just follow your own club, enjoy your own club, and if you're coming up against somebody, fair enough, but other than that, just fucking stop. So there you go. Look, 89.8 megabytes per second and an upload speed of 19.7. So my internet is just tickety boo. Craig, what was Trent and Hendo like today? Trent did okay, to be fair. Hendo only came on for the last 20 minutes. Managed to get himself booked in that 20 minutes, which thankfully won me a bet. So thank you, Hendo, for that one. Yeah, Trent did pretty well, to be fair. But Hendo, it's hard to say because he was pretty ineffective in a game that was pretty ineffective. But he was only on for the last 20 minutes. So Ben Chilwell got his first international cap today. So congratulations to him. Obviously, it's not a real international cap just yet, so he can still, you know, change his mind if he wanted to. I hate that rule, by the way. I feel once you play for a country, that's it. You're playing for that country, end of. Craig, do you still put clothes pegs on your nipples? Nah, Mike, man, not at my age. Nah, I can't be doing with that shit, man. That was for the stuff in the early 30s, you know, when you're feeling frisky and shit, but not now. Not now, Mike. Liverpool are still in for Rabiot for January, said Vinny. Well, look, he's not going to go anywhere, to be fair, until the end of the season. If he does go anywhere, it'll be probably signing a pre-contract in January because his contract is up then at the end of the season. Although, to be fair, if he wasn't getting a look in at PSG or PSG wanted to sell him, then yeah, perhaps. But they don't seem like the type of club that would look to cash in for a few million quid. You know, they're pretty wealthy, so I'd imagine that if Rabiot goes anywhere, it'll be at the end of next season. But a pre-contract in January would certainly do, wouldn't it? Remember, Firmino, Salah and Mane can play all the games this season. Sturridge, Shaqiri and Origi need to play games. Man, you don't want to hear my thoughts on Origi, Imran. The pretty much is fuck and off because I don't rate the dude at all. I would much rather see Dominic Solanke get game time, and I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but I'm fed up of Origi getting chances. He just hasn't performed. He hasn't hit the level. He couldn't even do it at Wolfsburg. So for me, nah. Shaqiri, Sturridge and Solanke, happy days. Yeah, definitely give them rotation time, but for me, Origi should have just been gone. I know we couldn't get the money we wanted for him, but he's just not up to the standard for Liverpool at this moment in time, in my eyes. Getting my junior cert results tomorrow, said Mighty Lad. Man, I'll be thinking of you. I hope they go well. But if they don't, man, if you don't get what you wanted, don't worry about it. I'll let you in on a little secret here. The junior cert means fuck all, dude. In the long term, it means fuck all. If you can get through this and get towards your leaving cert, man, that's where it all gets on. But don't get me wrong, getting some good results is kick ass. If you get good results, congratulations. If you don't, it ain't the end of the world, mighty lad. I'm sure you will though. You seem like a bright dude, so best of luck tomorrow, buddy, and pop on maybe if you get a chance and let us know how you get on. You could be out celebrating with your mates, of course, so maybe over the weekend, but we will be thinking of you tomorrow, buddy, and I hope it goes well. And anybody else out there that may be picking up exam results tomorrow or soon, I hope it goes well for you guys as well. I know it can be a pretty nerve-wracking time, but don't stress yourselves out too much. Exams are exams. It's nothing you can do worrying about it now will change it. So just kick back, relax and see what happens tomorrow. I'm sure you'll do fine though. I think Croatia were missing the best defender in the world, said True Morgan. Yeah, you're spot on. You're spot on. When you don't have the best defender in the world, look what happens. You go down, you get smashed 6-0 by Spain. Do you know what I mean? Lovren's probably sitting there now going, woo, whoop, whoop, Dejan, whoop, whoop, Dejan. He definitely thinks he's the best defender in the world now, without a shadow of a doubt. He'd be strutting back into fucking Melwood now, balls out. Yeah, look, it's tough. It's tough to say, isn't it? 6-0. That's some spanking that they got by Spain today. Some spanking. I've got a can of chav, not diet, said Lee. Well, diet chav is where it's at, Lee, as you know. Henderson looked good for the 25 minutes he was on. I don't think he did. I don't think any of the English team did too well today, to be fair. Actually, no, I'm being a bit hard there. Rose, I thought, was quite good. I thought Danny Rose did well. Good evening, Craig. Good evening, Mods and Connor and everybody else at Dirty Girl. Great to have you back with us. Paul is in the house. How are you, Paul? I hate Spurs too, mate. Especially Pochettino's encouragement for his players to cheat. That's a good point. That is a good point, Paul, and it's something that we often overlook. He does let them, well, not let them away with it. He does seem to encourage it, doesn't he? Now, we've got no Stonewall fucking proof that he does, but they do like to go down, those Spurs players. They really do. But do we all think that about opposition fans? Am I being too biased here? I'm sure opposition fans look at Liverpool players and go, look, he's gone down too easily. Sure, weren't we called penalty pool at one point? Although that couldn't have been last season because we just weren't getting fucking penalties last year. Spurs have done nothing since the 1980s. Nick just telling it like it is. Them's his facts, Nick. We've got the squad for the schedule. Looking forward to the rotation, actually, said Nabil Rydens. We do, and you are spot on. This is why having that summer that we had and bringing in those bodies will pay off. You're absolutely right, Nabil. We often have conversations about which players will start, or will the midfield rotate, or who starts in the first 11, but it's not really important. The vital thing is the squad, and as Nabil has rightly said there, we do have the squad for this rotation. Nabil said, happy birthday, King Craig. Thank you very much, mate. That's really kind of you. As I said, though, they get less and less happy for me the older I get. I don't know, I feel it, man. 37 and I'm really starting to feel my age. Although, mentally, of course, we're always 17. We had this discussion last night. We never grow old mentally. Craig, hope you have a good birthday. Can't wait to see the Reds back proper footy on Saturday, says Ant. Thank you, Ant. I'm nearly counting the minutes. I hate these early kickoffs, but the only upside to that is that it does bring us that little bit closer to seeing the Reds, doesn't it? PSG at home just feels like a genie masterclass incoming for some reason. I love Nabil, mate. I love you. I love your comments. Can you keep them coming, buddy? Honestly, brilliant comments. And I love that you're a big fan of Gini Wijnaldum as well, because he's having a cracking season. So, well done, mate. Great comments. Love it. Hi guys. Thing what pisses me off about the weekend's game is that Spurs fans are way more confident than our fans. We're Liverpool Football Club, damn it. There you go, man. There you go. We are Liverpool Football Club. I don't think you need to say anything more than that, mate. And not just that, we're Liverpool Football Club on top of the motherfucking table as well, so we've got nothing to fear. We owe them as well, and I think our fans are forgetting that. I think our fans don't think that the boys remember what it felt like last season, going down there and getting their asses handed to them. They're going to remember that feeling. They're not going to have enjoyed it. They're going to want to put it right. Klopp will be reminding them. No sure thing that Klopp will be letting them know about last season's results. So, totally agree with you, mate. We can go down there, we can get the result, and we've nothing to fear. And our fans shouldn't have anything to fear either. So, lovely, great comments. Keep them coming, guys. I'm confident this Spurs game, Klopp might have reignited the fire in the players, said Lalu. Again, pretty much touched on what I was saying there. Absolutely, he will be getting into them, and he will be telling them about last year's result. He'll be telling them that we owe it to... He'll be telling them they owe it to themselves, to the fans, to him, to go out there, put on a performance, and lay a marker down. I keep talking about this, guys. I keep saying Liverpool need to lay a marker down, or Liverpool need to throw down the gauntlet. They do. And to be a big team, to class yourself as a big team, we've got to be going to Wembley and picking up the win. If we're being honest here, if we're having this conversation about Manchester City going down to play Spurs at the weekend, hand on heart, most of us probably think that Manchester City will go there and get the result. So there's no reason, if we're comparing ourselves to Manchester City and thinking that we can go up against them in a Premier League title race, that we shouldn't be thinking anything other than go down there and get the 3 points. That's what big teams do. We're a big team. Go down there, get the 3 points. Come on, you Reds. Cameron said, I reckon Fabinho might come on as a sub on Saturday if we're in the lead. Would add some height to the midfield. Spurs lack pace but are a physical team. Well, Harry Kane came on as well actually tonight for the last... Actually, I can't remember how long Kane came on for. Could have been a bit longer than 25 minutes, there or thereabouts. So yeah, he's got minutes in his legs as well. So again, a little bit of fatigue possibly there. Obviously, Dele Alli didn't because he had a pretend injury that he had to go back to Spurs with. So interesting. What Trippier came on right at the end, I think, if memory serves me correct. I'm just trying to go through the Spurs team to see who else might have played. Dyer, who I said played really well. Actually, to be fair, Dyer, he played really well. They're stopping the junior cert in 2 years in Ireland. Don't worry, says Joseph. My daughter's sitting it this year, Joseph, believe it or not. So junior cert is actually a topic in our house at the moment. Do you think Fabinho will start against Spurs or PSG? Love this challenge, said Danny Wrigley. I do, mate. I don't think he'll start against Spurs, if I'm being honest. Originally, I'd said in the lead up to the Champions League games that I thought he might start against Paris Saint-Germain, but now I'm thinking he may even just come on as a sub, mate. The closer the game gets, let's remember it's only a week away at this point, and he still hasn't had any Premier League minutes. It's a big game, and to drop him in to that game for his first game, it would be a big ask. So I'm wondering, perhaps will we see him introduced as a sub and then brought in at the weekend against Southampton? That probably makes a little bit more sense, but you know, it's really hard, Danny, to second guess Jurgen Klopp. I've been wrong every time I've tried to do it, mate. Thank you, Paul. I think your daughter Lucas and your missus are lucky, Craig. And yeah, have the Premier League next year. I hope we're here doing it, Paul. I hope we're all here in May next year celebrating together after the Premier League win. Man, that stream, if there's a stream when we win the Premier League, oh my god, I cannot wait. Do you know what, actually, on that, I'm setting up downstairs, so from probably the Southampton game onwards, maybe the Champions League game, depending on if stuff arrives from Amazon in time, I'm going to be recording the posts or the watch-alongs in my living room. So the setup is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have a much wider camera angle shot of me, so I'll be able to do a bit more movement, shall we say, when we're celebrating and stuff like that. So bit of a different setup, trying to mix things up, and I just want to make it a little bit easier for the watch-alongs to interact properly and give you guys more of a feel of what's going on in the game and stuff. So I feel to do that I need a bit more space, so my wife has given me the nod to be able to set up in the living room for Liverpool's game, so really looking forward to that one. Evening, all saw a tweet today that Roy Keane was going to end Harry Arthur. I thought, Jesus, Roy doesn't take any prisoners. When I reread it, it actually said Roy Keane was going to end Harry Arthur row. The first one would have made just as much sense though when we're talking about Roy Keane Day. Well, let's be honest, it wouldn't have shocked you in the slightest to have read that. I like the way Martin O'Neill handled this, by the way. Throwing nobody under the fucking bus and just being calm, collected and cool about it. So well done to him on that one. Usually I'd be shitting about these fixtures, but I'm actually really hyped, said True Morgan. Great, brilliant, I love that. Well in, mate. It's a beautiful time to be a Red. Lots of big games coming up. These are the games you want. As a Liverpool fan, you want Liverpool to be involved in the big games. I've been saying this for a long time now. Well, I say a long time, I mean the last few weeks of streams. Brilliant. Let these games come thick and fast. Hopefully we get the results, because if we go through these games, you know, when it's costing us points and we're dropping them, this conversation will be a little bit different. But as we stand, everything's fucking brilliant. So why worry when things are going so well? Spurs cheat week in, week out. It's disgraceful, said Kang Ozzy. The next several games will be exciting. I'd laugh my ass off if we beat them 3-0. Harry Kane looks exhausted and isn't much of a threat, said LFC_5. I get it. I get where you're coming from. He hasn't looked great. I think Dele Alli has looked pretty average as well so far this season, but it is a big game, and if there's a game that anyone's going to get themselves up for, it's going to be this game against Liverpool, because I think they see themselves on a par with us at this moment in time. Or they may even believe, I'm sure they do, the professional footballers that they're better than us at this moment in time, and they want to prove it. They did it last year. They gave us a hiding down there last year. But as I keep saying, I think our guys are going to go into this and tear into the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see us get a couple of early goals. I know that sounds arrogant, but I really feel we're going to be up for this one. Hope you're having a good birthday, Craig. No more international injuries as yet. Fantastic. Hope Bobby and Firmino don't play later. So do I. Just send them home. Just go out and get that result. They're playing and nothing friendly as well, so hopefully they don't. Hopefully they get, if they do come on, 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. You don't want them picking up any little knocks or muscle injuries. Nick Muller said, too much diving all around. Should get yellow card if you're believed to dive. You could use VAR for that one. The thing about VAR is it's supposed to only be there for game altering or game changing decisions, Nick. So for the likes of diving and yellow cards, it's not something I think that will be introduced, because it will slow down the game way too much. Luke said, imagine if Ox was in the mix as well for that midfield. Talk about depth. That's the beauty of it, mate. Long term he will be. So as we've said before, long term we're looking at a midfield options of Jordan Henderson, Adam Lallana, James Milner, Fabinho, Keita, Gini Wijnaldum, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, possibly Shaqiri if you look at it in that sense. I'm probably forgetting one more as well, and then of course you've got the young guys coming through. So for 3 midfield starting places, we definitely aren't short of bodies at this moment in time. Where was I? No, not there. Sorry guys, again, just trying to get through the chat. Danny Wrigley said, happy birthday, Craig. This is such a great channel. I'm spreading it around my school. Thank you, Danny. That's really kind of you, mate. Don't know how PG I really am, so you should probably, if you're spreading it around your school, mate, although you're a young lad, you're like me, you wouldn't be saying this, but it isn't a PG one. Not that I'm saying you're a PG buddy, but you know, I have to let it out there. I do fucking use language quite a bit, as you see, so I should probably start the streams with that sometimes. I just feel like people know at this point. That's the thing, when you make podcasts, there's a way of flagging your content, so you can flag your podcast to say that it's explicit and all your content is explicit, and that kind of covers you. But YouTube's a little bit different in that I think that option's only there when you get monetized. I think, could be wrong. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you had a good one. I did indeed. Thank you very much, Das. Could someone please tell me what time Liverpool versus Man United game is on? It's important, please. Google it, Imran. Hey, same way you put that message in there, buddy. Just lash it into Google and search. You're 37, too young to remember the Liverpool golden years of 1977 to 85. All those cups. Defo, man. Defo don't remember those. Even the latter ones of the 85 era. My first memories of Liverpool started around 89-90, if I'm being honest, Nick. Evening, chaps and chapesses. Happy birthday, old egg, says Raptor. Thank you, buddy. I was a little bit cranky at the start of the stream, actually, guys. I should probably apologise. I felt like I was getting poked and prodded a little at the start of the stream. People moaning about lagging and stuff like that. Imran, I'm not talking to you, buddy. I was more the other guy. That dude just annoyed me. That's the third night in a row he came on with that inventing a fucking problem, and it throws me off. So when I'm on here trying to be happy and talk to you guys, and you've got him just completely throwing me off, and at the same time we had 2 or 3 other people. We had the fucking moron talking about the badgers at the bottom of his garden. Then we had other people talking about Jordan Henderson, about his fucking chin, or something that made no sense. I give up sometimes, guys. So apologies anyway, if I came across very cranky at the start of the stream, sincere apologies. You know I don't like to be cranky on here, unless of course I'm talking about opposition or opposition fans, then I can have a bit of a rant from time to time. I hope you're all having a cracking Tuesday, by the way, and I hope, like me, you're starting to realise the countdown has begun and the Reds are back soon enough. Skipper Dog said, I hate them as well. I read earlier on that we do way worse when the kickoff is early, but I've got a feeling we'll do it. Yeah, like you, mate, I struggle to think of 12:30 kickoffs where we've actually got a good result. It's not a time I enjoy watching Liverpool play, but if we can get the result and get it done early, the rest of the teams yet to kick off for the weekend, it does put pressure on other teams. Senior El Flamo said, did you see the 1-versus-1 situation with Van Dijk and Mbappe in the France-Netherlands game? Van Dijk owned him and put in a class performance. I did. He jockeyed him really well, and then he stepped in, perfectly timed tackle to step in and dispossess him of the ball. A less experienced defender there may have jumped in or may have sold himself for the tackle and let Mbappe get around him, but Van Dijk was very clever in what he did. And it's a sign of a world-class defender. He knew exactly what he was doing. Look, there's going to be times where you're up against Kylian Mbappe in those situations and he'll just go past you because he can be that good, but Van Dijk did excellently in that situation. If there's one team I like us to beat, it's Spurs. We are Liverpool, said Teo. Teo, great to have you back. Feels like a while since we've seen you. Great to have you in again. Looks like one snuck past rap. It was probably one of those fucking idiots from earlier on, Will. One of the guys who thought they were fucking hilarious posting shit. Don't worry about thumbs down anymore, guys. It's absolutely irrelevant. I actually see it as a badge of honour sometimes when we get thumbs down. Although not too many. I should state that. Not too many. The ego does take a bit of a fucking kicking when you look up and there's 25 or 30 of them motherfuckers. Except when you're doing watch-alongs. Because then I fully understand the thumbs down. When you're doing a watch-along, loads of people hope they can come on and watch the game. They see like Liverpool versus Manchester United and then they click on, it's not the game. They put a thumbs down because they're pissed off. That I fully understand. I wouldn't put the thumbs down, but I'd be as frustrated myself if I was looking for a stream and I was going through stuff like that. Nabil Ryden said, cheers Craig, can't always tune in but really enjoy it when I can. Well, I really enjoy having you here, Nabil, mate, so thank you for being such a great contributor. It's been great having you with us and I hope you can join in more often. Kang Ozzy said, 4 wins out of 4, how's that not a marker? Spurs should be shitting themselves. And I love it, Kang Ozzy, well in, keep it coming, keep the positivity coming, buddy, that's what we want. All fans should be thinking this way. 4 out of 4, 12 points, only 1 goal conceded, 9 scored if I remember correctly. Can't ask for much more than that. Paul said, the ghost penalty in injury time, Spurs scraped a 2-2 draw at Anfield. 2 fucking penalties, man, 2 fucking iffy penalties within the space of a few minutes, like. And that's after Mohamed Salah went down the other end and scored one of the most beautiful goals of the season. A goal that should have won the fucking game. But the referee, was it Kevin Friend? I don't remember if it was Kevin Friend. I remember having 2 rants last year. One was about Kevin Friend, and I mean real fucking rants on like literally turning on Periscope and saying for about 15 minutes into Periscope the referee was a cunt over and over and over again. I think it was Kevin Friend. I could be wrong though. Fabinho will start both games. Nah, not going to happen, Imran. Definitely not going to happen. There's no way Fabinho starts against Spurs and against PSG. I'm not saying he won't play in either, but to start both, I don't think it was John Moss for the Spurs game. To start both, it's a big ask, man. He hasn't played a minute for Liverpool yet. But you know what, Klopp, that could be just something Klopp would do. Never rule out anything when we've got Klopp as the gaffer. He looked good for Brazil, said Joseph. Fabinho, look, there's no doubts about Fabinho as a footballer. It's weird that some of our fan base seems to think that just because he hasn't started yet that either Klopp has realised he's not as good a player as he thought or he's just not fitting in. It's just not the case. It just takes time. Fabinho's here for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So he'll settle in. He may take his time. It's all good. Klopp will put him in when he thinks he's ready and he'll be fine. This time in 3 or 4 months, as I said before, we won't remember this time where he wasn't playing. We'll be just thankful to have that brilliant, bald, tall, beautiful holding midfielder there that's breaking up play, shielding the back 4 and doing a perfect job. And then we won't remember these conversations. It's very important. Does anyone know the time Liverpool versus Man United game starts on Saturday the 11th of December? That's 2 messages, man, that you've put in. You could have just Googled it. Honest to God. Plus, it could change. So whatever the time is now, Imran, mate, I'd ignore it because it will most likely change for TV. Liverpool United is going to be on television. So if that's down for a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff, you can be guaranteed it's getting moved. I'd say the most likely options for that are going to be 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday or a Sunday 1:30 at a guess, but there's no way it's going to stay as a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. TV companies will definitely move that. With his mohawk haircut, I've told the family already, Joseph, mate, if we win the league, I'm telling you, I will grow a mohawk and dye it red. You've got my promise on that. If we win the double, I'm going full on fire starter. I'm a man of my word. Trust me, when we do this, when we win the league, you will see me with a mohawk. Even if I have actually gone bald by then, I'll have whatever type of a mohawk I can grow. But I'm a man of my word, so trust me, we win the league, you'll see Craig with a red mohawk. So the new Diet Chav, or the new watch along, will have Diet Chav stocked up. Absolutely, man. The new watch along is going to be good fun for me because I'm going to have so much more space. I'm going to be sitting down in my sitting room actually, in a big comfy ass corner sofa with the big TV in front of me. So much easier to give you guys direction on the game. Much easier to actually read what players I'm looking at because the TV is much bigger than the one in my room. So it's going to be good all round, I think. The lighting was the issue. The reason I couldn't do it before is because the lighting is not bright enough. And to do this, to have the green screen and stuff, which I won't have downstairs, but to do stuff downstairs, the lighting has to be really bright to get good quality video. So I've had to order a second ring light to go with the one that I've already bought. So that's going to arrive in the next few days, and that will allow me to set up properly in the living room and put out decent quality content, because if it was dark and dreary, it just wouldn't work. Stephen Greer said 78 views, 25 likes. Come on guys, we can do better. Oh, and thank you. We had another person sign up to Patreon, by the way, last night, so thank you for that. I don't like to give out names because sometimes people want to stay anonymous when they do stuff like this, whether they send a donation or whether they sign up to Patreon. Sometimes people do like to stay anonymous, so I like to respect their privacy. So thank you to that person, you know who you are. But if anybody else does want to help the channel out, I did just drop it into the chat there, but you know, as always, I'm not going to drag it out and read it out for you because I don't like doing it. We will beat Spurs, says Alkin. Absolutely, mate. I love that positivity. Well done, buddy. Keep it up. And welcome. I don't know if it's your first time or if I've just missed you, mate, but welcome to the channel. Great to have you here with us. If you're new to the channel, well, you've already dropped into the chat, man, as you can see, so keep it up. You get to know the guys in here. They're really not, I say guys. When I say guys, by the way, excuse me, because it's an Irish phrase. I don't mean it from a male perspective. Guys is just the way we describe everybody, so you'll meet the guys and gals in here and get to know them all. They're great people, buddy. Welcome to the channel, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done already. Michael Oliver, anybody else worried, said Kang Ozzy. Do you know what? Maybe it's just me, and I don't like giving referees credit Kang Ozzy, but I think he's probably one of the better ones in the Premier League. Other people may think differently, but I just think he's not the worst of them when it comes to referees in the Premier League. I think there's shittier referees out there. But of course, everybody has different views on refs. That's the beauty of the game. We all see it differently, whether it be tactics at times, player performances, or indeed just whether it's the referee. Sometimes you just see it differently. I love Walk On Through the Rain. This sensitive clown hasn't been banned from YouTube yet. Clearly not, man. But clearly there's plenty of room inside your head for me. I may not have been banned from YouTube, but I am beaming live into your head, mate, which I love. I'm sorry I was so mean earlier. What a joke. Mate, it's alright. I'm in here and I'll always be in your head, and for that I'm thankful. So carry on posting your shitty little comments. It's fine, buddy. But I know I'm in there, live, beaming straight into your brain. Always. Plenty of room in there for me. So thank you for that one. Thank you for letting me know. I've got to you so much by literally just banning you for, what, 300 seconds for talking shit, and you've got the cheek to call me sensitive princess. Oh, diddums. That's Gark's agent with the Badgers. Do you know what though? As funny as it is, that Badgers talk, man, that's the type of shit that I actually enjoy. I love a warped sense of humour like that. And so that's why I was responding to him. I enjoyed that much more than somebody coming in and just writing things like, you know, really long word, shortened word, really long word, blah blah blah. What else have we got? Liverpool's record this season in early kickoffs is 100% win rate. You can't argue with that, kind of, actually, man. You can't played 1-1-1, you're spot on. The Raptor, walk on through the rain, fuck off. You've said it for me, Raptor, absolutely. Imagine saying, is he not banned from YouTube yet, just because he got timed out for 300 seconds, and he has the cheek to call me or us sensitive. Poor little princess. Bring any LFC team, we're not afraid of nobody, said Imran Khan. There you go. No fear here, buddy. Bradley Jones says, I play a 4-2-3-1 with Fabinho and Henderson holding and Naby for the free role. I've often thought about that system, Bradley. I've got to say, I've often thought about that 4-2-3-1. It's one that I think would suit our style of play very well. Obviously, I'm not as adept with strategy and formations as Klopp is, or particularly with how fluid a particular formation can be, but just, you know, from an absolute fan perspective, I have, like you, thought about that 4-2-3-1 as well and thought that it might work. Strangely, if I was playing that 4-2-3-1 system though, I'd play Salah through the middle. Call me mad, you might think that's silly. I just think in that system, for me, getting him as the player, getting behind, would work well. Squism said, evening lads, travelling for work but needed to stop by to wish Craig a happy birthday. Thank you very much, Squism, that's really kind of you. Wherever you're travelling, mate, I hope it's safe. Take your time if you're driving. If you're on a plane, then kick back, relax, have a diet chav, all is good. But however you're travelling, mate, I hope you get there safe, and thank you for the very kind gesture. There's only one Nabil allowed in this chat. Spelled differently, to be fair, so it's all good. And he's a lovely guy as well, to be fair. The second Nabil. It's your duty as an opposition fan to give us a thumbs down. There you go. It was obviously Mr. I'm so upset that I got timed out for 300 seconds, because it happened straight after he came back, so it's clear. Now watch him go and set up a second account to come back in. This is the fun of this game. It never stops. You go set up another account, come back in, abuse, go back out, set up another account, and yet they tell me that I'm obsessed. These fucking weirdos. I want to tell you guys a story actually about this. So there's one particular gentleman that's been trolling anything that I've been involved in for, God, it's been over 2 years. It's been over 2 years. So far we've tracked down 16 different Twitter accounts belonging to this person. This person keeps coming up with the same slags. He's letting himself away every time he does it. He's giving himself away. There's little hints and little types of accounts that you can nail back to this person. So this one idiot keeps coming and he's absolutely fucking obsessed. I'm not going to say his name because he knows who he is. I know who he is, and that's part of the fun of this little fucking dance. But this lunatic is absolutely obsessed. I wish I could tell you guys more details on this, but I can't because it'll build up to a crescendo at some point, and there'll be a nice little finale to this at one point. But this dude is absolutely obsessed, and sometimes I think I'm gonna wake up at night and see this fucker standing at the end of my bed. Kevin Friend is not our friend, says Kang Ozzy. I wonder if Klein will get any game time this season. A lot of competition in that right back position. Trent, Fabinho and Gomez, said Cameron. It is interesting. He'll probably play against Chelsea. A lot of people seem to think that he may be on the way out the door. And when I say a lot of people, I'm not talking about fans. I mean, when I've listened to other content, a few people think that possibly he could be on the way out the door next, or maybe next summer. But he's an excellent fullback, Nathaniel Klein, so having him here as an option is a great option to have. If we can beat Man City 3 times, we can beat PSG, said Stephen Greer. And very well put, you can't argue with that. Beat them 3 times, why can't we go and beat PSG? Why can't we go and beat Spurs? Anyone know what's wrong with VVD and why he's out for 2 weeks? No, he's not out for 2 weeks that I've seen. Stop trying to go on a wind-up, man. If this is a wind-up, if we've missed something, then sincere apologies. But if you're on a wind-up, Bradley, stop it. You'll kill us. Most likely early because they don't want the fans ranked up and getting rowdy. That's it. That's fucking it, isn't it? They ruin it. A lot of the times you see Liverpool-Everton games, Liverpool United games, Liverpool City games, whatever. The biggest games of the seasons. Games that should be played at 5:30 on a Saturday. Getting played at 12:30. Just so the fans can't actually have a few pints and enjoy themselves because, God, they're football fans and heaven forbid they had a few sherbets before the game so they'd only smash up the stadium and fucking kill each other. It's ridiculous. These games should be put on at peak times for the biggest markets around the world. Yeah, it does my head in when stuff like this happens. Liverpool Spurs shouldn't be a 12:30 kick-off on a Saturday. In my eyes, it should be peak time on a Saturday, 5:30. And when we bring in the later kick-offs on a Saturday, it should have been one of those. Craig, Arsenal Wenger said Anfield is his favourite away ground. Hope he means that from the point of view of the fans and the audience and not getting a result, but I don't remember Arsenal getting too much at Anfield over the years, but I suppose it's a compliment. I hope he means it as a compliment. Lost my place in the chat again, so bear with me. Oh yes, there we are. When Mel Reddy confirmed the Fekir deal, I went around to everyone in my house saying that we're going to have Nabil in the team and went to show my friends some clips. Fuck's sake, the absolute state. I'd imagine I get where you're coming from. So close, wasn't it? That deal all summer. That's the one that got away this summer. But look, we've had this discussion. I don't want to get back into it because I'll just get upset again. The Carabao Cup should be renamed the Diet Chav Cup. Damn right it should, Will. You're right. I think we should start a petition for that shit. The Diet Chav Association Cup, I think, sounds better. Best Liverpool channel out there, said Mighty Lad. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Do you know what? Sometimes I wonder how you fuckers put up with me. Some of the rants I go on, I know I can be a moody bastard at times. Do I apologise? I probably don't, if I'm being honest, because it's just me. But sometimes I just think I can go off on tangents, and you've got to understand that this is always going to happen. I can't focus on one thing for very long without drifting off. So if I ever do go on a rant and I insult anybody, it's not intentional. Unless you're an opposition fan, then you can fuck off. He's a conspiracy guy with UFO and aliens. We will gegenpress the shit out of PSG, said Cameron. I think they're not going to be able to cope, man. I really don't. Of all the big games, of all the big teams you could have been pitted against, they're the one that I think are most likely to implode when they're put up against pressure or when their backs are put up against the wall. I honestly think if we can get a couple of early goals against PSG, the crowd get on their backs, Neymar starts getting frustrated, I can see a booking, possibly a red card for Neymar. I can see Mbappe getting frustrated and just kind of not bothering his arse with the game. Cavani, look, anything can happen with him, but I just think they can be got at, particularly at Anfield. So I'm fully expecting us to get 3 points against Paris Saint-Germain, and I'll be very disappointed if we don't. What's your thoughts for the weekend's derby? Which derby is this? Surely you're not talking about Spurs then, yeah, or Daniel. The weekend's derby, Spurs. No, I don't know, mate. If I've missed something, then let me know. But there's no derby at the weekend. Michael Oliver's got one of those faces you want to slap, said Stephen Richards. He definitely looks like the kid at school that got bullied. Michael Oliver. That's what I always thought about when I looked at him. Did you watch the Switzerland game the last 2 days? Shaqiri did magic. He did really well in the last game. Wasn't it against Iceland? But he was a little bit frustrated tonight, Daniel. He was a little bit up and down. But he didn't pick up injuries, and that's the most important thing for us as Liverpool fans, mate. And he'll be ready for the weekend, for PSG, and of course for the weekend after. I think we're going to see him get a few more minutes soon. He's looked impressive since he's come to the club. Hasn't put a foot wrong yet. Frederick Ross has joined. How are you, Frederick? Great to have you with us, mate. I think when they introduce VAR into the Premier League games, they should have ex-referees like Kalina in charge of it. Ex-referees, I don't know, perhaps, maybe as a senior official overlooking it. It is what worries me about the Premier League standards, man. Because if you think about this, we're already struggling to get enough decent caliber referees out there. So if you're gonna have video assistant referees as well, you're almost diluting the system because you're gonna need more fucking referees. So where are we gonna get the standard, the quality of referees from that already aren't there? It's a noodle scratcher. Bradley, rather than just saying he's injured, mate, just let us know where you seen the injury or where it was reported, buddy, if you wouldn't mind. Mr. Klopp was in the house. Well, there you go. Let's just ask him. Jurgen Klopp, is Virgil van Dijk injured? Could you let us know? That's not a nice joke, Bradley. Fuck's sake. Nearly give me a heart attack there. Of all the players to say who's injured, Virgil van Dijk, Jesus, don't do that to us again. Ryan, how are you, mate? Great to have you with us. Nothing really happening, buddy. You missed a cranky Craig at the start, so you probably timed it well to come on. I don't know why, but I started this stream, I wasn't in the best of form, and I do apologise to everybody for that one. They must have a really sad life. Holy shit. Leave it the last 15 minutes and tell us, Craig. I can't tell you, Joseph. I really would love to. Someday this will come out. Connor knows exactly who it is because we've been tracking this together for about 18 months. It's fucking hilarious. He's third choice, but I think Klein is good, said Skipper Dog. Would you put him as third choice right back already? I'd still have him as second in my head. Fabinho I'd probably have as the third choice right back, but for me, I think if Trent wasn't there, I'd prefer to see Klein personally. Asensio on fire for Spain. Hendo looked decent. Asensio did. He looked really fucking good. The goal that went in off the keeper was hilarious. So we scored, for anyone who didn't see the Spain game, Asensio scored an absolute belter. And then a couple of minutes later, he hit a cracking shot, hit the bar, bounced down, hopped off the back of the keeper's head and went into the net. He was brilliant. He looked like an absolute fucking superstar, that dude. And who's the guy that scored the first goal, the header? Number 8 for Spain. I can't think of his name, but he looked fucking class as well. What is the guy's name? Somebody must know. Number 8 for Spain tonight. Maybe somebody can let me know in the chat who that was. Stephen, good night, buddy. We'll talk to you really soon. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Farrell said, I'll stay a few minutes here before I'm off. We'll listen as long as I can, but maybe away. The new tenant shows with documents. New tenant with... Was it Sewell? I think it might have been. That does sound familiar. I'll tell you now, actually. I'll just check the score sheet and I'll tell you. New tenant. See, new tenant. It was Sell. It was Sell Niguez, yeah. Fucking excellent. Looked really, really well. Really suited with that number 8 role. I know Iniesta's big shoes to fill, but he played really, really well. Not Asensio. Asensio played excellently tonight as well, though, but that wasn't the guy. Sell was the guy I was talking about. Driving, pets, leases, contractor invoices, new tenant applications, pay fees, stubs, filing, busy night. Jesus Christ, that is a busy night, Farrell. Fucking hell. It's tough at the top, mate, isn't it? It's really tough at the top. Harry said, who would you play in midfield at the weekend? Personally, would play Naby Hendo and James Milardinho. I had said the exact same three all week, but on the podcast with Christian yesterday, Christian raised the good point that Gini Wijnaldum's been pretty damn fine this season and he hasn't put a foot wrong. During the internationals as well, he'd looked really well, so am I being a bit harsh dropping Hendo in there and pulling out Gini? I don't know. Either of those though, that trio there or Gini Wijnaldum instead of Hendo. Any of that combination I think would be spot on. Craig, you look like Kalina. I look like Kalina's let himself fucking go, mate. That's what I look like. Watford to continue their perfect form this weekend. Did you see the odds, by the way, Ryan? They're like 3-1 to beat United at home. It's ridiculous. I couldn't believe those odds when I seen it. So United going into that game against Watford as favourites in Watford against a team that's won 4 out of 4. Seems madness to me. I'm very tempted to stick a cheeky 50 on Watford there. I heard they're going to get in foreign refs, said Skipper Dog. Well, fingers crossed, mate. I often wonder why they don't mix the referees around anyway. Why referees aren't all headquartered or based at, say, UEFA, and then they just get sent around Europe to different weeks. There's enough money in the game to do it at the highest level. And then the referees get used to refereeing in different styles of football, different leagues, different environments, and the standard of refereeing will probably level out. Particularly the difference in certain types of tackles, the way the referees referee the games. Farrell said, I think once VAR is used, it should be the final arbiter. Ref should be given the decision, not a suggestion. Again, good point. Particularly around penalties. The thing about handballs is every handball slowed down is going to look pretty fucking bad. So I don't agree with the referees looking at handball incidents in a half speed or quarter speed. They should be looking at it in real time. Yes, they can get a look back at it, of course, but they should get a look back at it in real time. Slowing it down always makes it look like a handball. He's not injured, guys. Don't worry about VVD. For all those in the chat, he is not injured. It was a joke he was putting in. Don't worry about it. He definitely is not injured. We should get Serena Williams to stress test the Premier League referees. I have pretty strong feelings on that whole subject, Amo. I've been on many forums over the last couple of days about that. That whole Serena Williams thing. This isn't the right place to talk about it, but yeah. Let's just say I amn't in camp pro Serena. Let's put it that way. Any news on the YouTube thing, Craig? Nope, not yet, Stephen. Still waiting for that email. Still hounding Connor every day to ask if we've got it. That's going to be a happy day when we have, Stephen, because I'll never have to fucking mention PayPal or Patreon ever again. LFC Dalek, happy birthday, Craig. Wow, how was it, that dedication? Hope you're having a great day, mate. Spoke to Klopp and he said 3 points on Saturday for your belated present. Thank you for the 3 points. That's probably the best present I could have got. Why wouldn't I come on my birthday and spend some time with you guys? I mean, I couldn't think of a better way to end my birthday than coming on here and chatting to Liverpool fans about Liverpool. It's seems like the perfect end to a lovely day. Better Call Saul. There you go. That was the guy. He was great. I thought he was really good for Spain. Actually, that reminds me, I have an entire season of Better Call Saul, first half season that I can watch, so guess what I'm going to be watching when I get off this stream. Thanks for the reminder, Damo. Has anybody watched the stuff on Amazon, by the way, on Amazon Prime Video, the stuff about, what's it called? Is it the Manchester City one, but there's one about the All Blacks as well. I think there's one about a couple of NFL teams. Is it Winning is Everything or All or Nothing or something along those lines? Has anybody watched any of the ones that aren't Manchester City related? Because I tried to watch that and I felt like I was being mansplained to down the channel by the guy who was narrating it, and I get why he was doing it, because obviously this was being pitched to fans who aren't regular football fans, but it just felt like football 101 for me, so I couldn't sit through it. Whereas if I watched the NFL one or the All Blacks one, then a bit of 101 mightn't be any harm for me. Gomez is second because he can play in centre back, and right, Gomez is better option playing or on the bench. He's fucking great, isn't he? Gomez, God bless him, he's fucking brilliant. I'm so happy that he seems to have gotten over his injury concerns. He just looks perfect. He just looked perfect there beside Virgil. It's what a lot of people had hoped for a long time. When we signed Virgil van Dijk, I remember having conversations with a load of Reds, and pretty much every single one of them, to a man or to a woman, were saying that in the long term that they seen Joe Gomez as Virgil van Dijk's partner. And I didn't think that the long term would start this quickly, But having him in there now, performing the way he is, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Remember Raul, I do, mate. What a fucking player. He's a Real Madrid man, and obviously I can't stand Real Madrid. I'll be a Barca fan when it comes to Spanish football, but fucking what a player. What a player he was. Ryan Caulfield said, Genie is a must start against Spurs, and I can completely understand where you're coming from with that. I really can. He hasn't missed a beat this season so far. But scenes now, if he goes and starts and scores an away goal, Ryan, down at Wembley against Spurs, I mean, just take the boxes down. That's everything done this season so far for Genie. Nabil said, I think PSG can be done in midfield. Press the shit out of them, especially with Verratti out. The front three needs all the supply cut off. Big test for Trent against Neymar. It is a big test for him, and I've no doubt going into that game Neymar is going to look at Trent and reckon that he can fucking own him. He's that arrogant that I reckon he just looks at him and goes, fucking kid, this is going to be an easy night's work. Yeah, best of luck with that one, Neymar. Was it Isco or Nacho, Craig? Because they looked awesome. No, it was Saul, but I mean, fucking hell, to be fair, so many of those Spanish players were excellent. It's great to see a younger generation of Spanish players coming through because, well, I say it's great. Why should I really care, I suppose? But from a footballing perspective, it's always great to see new young players coming through. I'd love a Watford win. The meltdowns will be spawning, said Ryan. I couldn't believe the odds, mate. I really couldn't. 3-1 when they were home. In the Netherlands game, they lost 2. I don't know what you mean there, Paul, mate. Or 2-1, sorry, yeah, you commented with the 1 down. Yeah, they did. Good game, though. To be fair, it was a good game. Joseph said, Craig, it's also my sister's birthday today. Do you remember where you were 17 years ago with the towers, mad? I do, mate, honestly. So, when it happened, I was in a place called Power City, which is an electrical wholesaler, electrical shop here in Ireland. And my dad was buying me, it was my 20th birthday, so my dad was buying me a TV, I think, because I was moved out. I was moving into an apartment, so my dad was buying me a TV to bring with me. So we were in the electrical shop, and I was, mesmerised looking around for TVs and stuff. And he was like, Craig, can you see what's going on here? And I was like, no, Dad, no, look, there's a deal on this one. And he goes, look, son, look what the fuck is going on. So I looked up, and then I remember just looking at all these television screens all around the shop with all these horrific images on them. It's obviously something none of us are ever going to forget, but honestly, for the first time in my life at that time, I actually thought that this could be, I thought that maybe this was the start of a massive war. I didn't know what was going on. It was freaky stuff. Never going to forget that. That was one of the most disturbing days I'm ever going to have in my life, I think. And not just me, of course. Many, many, many people, no more so than the people that were, of course, affected by 9/11. But yeah, it's a day that's, just the phrase 9/11, and everybody's always going to know what that is. Except for, I suppose, some of us Europeans who might wonder why the fuck the 9th of November has nothing to do with this. But, you Americans do like to flip the numbers around. But yeah, obviously a day where you have to nod your head and think about those that were lost in a fucking horrific incident. Absolutely horrific. Kada admitted that the league has been difficult so far. Can't wait until he finds it simple, said Squisms. Fucking right. He's going to tear the shit up. He's going to tear it up. He's going to be an absolute fucking superstar in the Premier League, without a shadow of a doubt. Paul is in the house. How are you, Paul? I've had a lovely day, thank you, buddy. I hope you've had the same. And happy birthday, by the way. Sorry, Joseph, I went past there. Happy birthday to your sister as well, mate. I'm seeing Lovren to be out for another month. To me, Gomez has the shirt, so no matter how, Lovren won't be starting if it were my decision. I'm with you. I think Lovren, he's not going to get that shirt back until Gomez, one, either gets injured or needs to be rotated, because the shirt is Joe Gomez as we speak. He hasn't put a foot wrong. So, I've said time and time again, I'm a massive believer in if you're playing well, the shirt is yours, and you have to have that shirt ripped off your fucking back. And Joe Gomez has been doing grand. So yeah, no need for him to lose to Lovren when he comes back. Craig, do you remember the documentary done in 2012 called Being Liverpool? Yes, mate. Fucking cheese central. I have 3 envelopes here, and in these 3 envelopes are the 3 names of the 3 people that are going to let us down this season. Oh man, I fucking remember that, don't worry. Cheesy fucking shite. It was how not to make a documentary about a football club. It was absolute horseshit, that Being Liverpool show. It really was fucking awful. Awful stuff. Yeah, I think that's what really did it in for Brendan Rodgers with the whole David Brent stuff. I think that it was Being Liverpool that really fucking put the nail in his coffin over that stuff. Damo said, and Genie hit 100% pass completion rate after Griezmann tried to give him a Genie a wedgie. Did you see that? I mean, that was the end of Griezmann. You can forget about a Ballon d'Or after that. Fucking megged and then still couldn't stop the dude even though he was ripping out his shorts. Genie Wijnaldum, what a man. Joseph said, it's fucking mad to believe it was that long ago. It is. Fucking 17 years already. Where's the time gone? Will said, eat that smash button, or just like the smash button alternatively. Sean is here. Sean, how are you, mate? Great to have you with us. Always good to see Sean pop in and say hello. How are you? As suggested, guys, by Will there, if you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, firstly, as I always say, you're very welcome here on Anfield Agenda. We do like to meet new Reds or fans of opposition clubs, as long as you come in and be respectful to the guys in the chat. That is all we ask on here. Banter is sound. We just ask people to be respectful. And yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button and enjoy the content. Enjoy the people in the chat. I know I certainly do every night when I come in. Happy birthday, Craig. Thank you very much, Mossy Wassy. Keane said, there are a few young lads from Liverpool coming through the ranks. Kelleher has been called up to the Ireland squad. Gomez cemented his place in the 11. Trent kicking Klein out of the 11 too. You'll never walk alone. Keane, from a purely Irish point of view, I'm so happy to see Queevy and Kelleher. Being a goalkeeper myself during my time playing football, and not having got to obviously nowhere near the standards that Queevy and Kelleher has got to, I look at him and I almost want him to become Liverpool's number 1 because he's Irish, because he's a keeper obviously, and I can almost live through him in some fucked up kind of weird way if he becomes the goalkeeper. So brilliant, so happy that he signed a new deal at the club, and as you said, it's looking bright. Lots of young players coming through, and obviously the people you've mentioned there as well already cemented their place in the team. Klein, Gomez, Jones coming through, Phillips coming through, lots and lots. Brewster still to come back from injury. The future is definitely bright. Grabara as well, another good goalkeeper. Skipper Dog said, I was in a pub in Sydney I'll never forget. I visited Ground Zero on my way back a year later. It's one of the most disgusting, frightening, thought-provoking things I think I've ever seen in my life, and I know that there's been much worse atrocities that go on every single day around the world, but we're sheltered from a lot of it. But we weren't from 9/11. We were able to see it all unfold in front of our eyes. It was fucking really scary stuff, and disgusting. I don't know what else to say, guys. I can't put in words how to feel about 9/11. You all will view this differently, have different memories of it. Well, I would say view it differently. You'll probably all view it the same way, but it's tough. We all have different memories of it. None of them good, of course. All sad. Yeah, it's fucked up. Stuff like that just shouldn't happen. It's important that we do take a moment, I suppose, to reflect at times and look back, and obviously our thoughts and prayers to the people who lost family members, or people who lost first responders who lost their lives as well. I mean, that shouldn't happen to people in this day and age. It shouldn't. There's some sick fucks out there in the world who believe they're fighting for a cause but really fucking aren't. A lot of stuff is just people that have been brainwashed, are just radicalised in some way, shape or form. And I'm not just talking about from a religious perspective, I mean from any perspective. I mean, radicalising somebody it's a form of torture, I'd almost say. But look, I'm not qualified to talk about this. I'm just sharing my thoughts on it. It's a sad day. We do have to reflect. every September 11th we've had this conversation from then up till now, and we'll probably be having it for another 15 or 20 years, guys. It's sad. It's so fucking sad to see, and none of us will ever forget the images of the guy jumping out the window as well. Look, if there's any American viewers watching, just know that our thoughts are with you guys, and always will be on this day, no matter how many years go by. And to Reds out there who are in America, we love you. We absolutely love you guys, and our thoughts are with you, and always will be with you on this day. I don't really know what else to say on it, guys. I'm probably not speaking very well on the subject. I'm just trying to be honest. Isn't the same number as the police in America. It is, yeah, that's true actually. Oh my god, how did I not put that together? It is, you're right. Over here in Ireland, it's 112 now, but do you know what? I'd still fucking hit 999 if I picked up the phone to ring. Damo said, regarding the being Liverpool fiasco, can I just state that Brendan Rodgers is not representative of everybody in Northern Ireland? Do you know what, Damo? Though I don't have anything against Brendan Rodgers. I actually think he'll have another big club in him in his career. I think he is a very good manager and a very good coach, should I say. So I've nothing against Brendan Rodgers. I was delighted when he was Liverpool manager. Having an Irishman managing the club was brilliant. Although he was Northern Irish, but same thing to me. Irish is Irish, so I was delighted to see him managing the club, and I was very sad it didn't work out. He got within a fucking hair's breadth of winning the Premier League. Just the cards didn't fall for him. 7 dislikes. Has there been Spurs fans on? No man, I just had a bit of a rant at the start and fucked a few people off. And obviously one of them pricks has a few accounts and is that fucking bitter and sad that he decided to come back with all his accounts and hit the thumbs down button. Now we can go and have a wank and think that he owns the world. Great, he's going to enjoy that one tonight. He's really going to feel like he's earned that wank tonight, Connor. Trust me. When he goes out there and the hatred that's built up on him when he's knocking one out, I hope he's thinking of us. I really do hope he's thinking of us. Was it confirmed as Alisson in the sex tape? Said Ryan. I don't know, but I fucking hope it was him. God, I fucking hope it was him. I'd like him even more. A beard and a sex tape? I mean, come on. What's not to love about that? How weird is this? We're having a conversation about footballers and then out of nowhere, was it confirmed it was Alisson in the sex tape? Oh, proper footballer stuff right there. Proper footballer shit. Right, now I've completely lost my place in the chat. Fucking hell. Let me try and find it back. Connor, you've thrown me off, man. These 7 thumbs downers have thrown me off altogether. Ah, there we go. Right, so I was there. Ray is in the house. Ray Heffernan has joined us. How are you, Ray? Said, evening all. Did you guys catch the moments in time from the Anfield wrap today? Great job. I was nearly punched in the air at the end. I actually cancelled my Anfield wrap subscription, buddy. Not because of a loss of quality of content or anything like that. Absolutely not. It's just because I don't have the time to listen to it anymore. And I find when I come off streams here with you guys, I have my fill of Liverpool talk. I've got it all out in my system. And I go and listen to the Joe Rogan experience. So I didn't catch it. But no doubt, as you said, it was great, and I've no doubt it was. They make great content. Craig, the cat goalkeeper, joking aside, Shay Given was brilliant. He was a keeper I'd have loved to have at Liverpool as well at one point, Paul. Very consistent, particularly for Ireland. Craig, do you think Curtis Jones will start against Chelsea? I sincerely hope so, Stephen. I really do. He had a great pre-season. I've got to be honest, I knew very little about him and Phillips in pre-season, until pre-season, excuse me, and then I seen them, and I got to see Phillips actually in Dublin when it was watching the Napoli game. He's a big unit. Fucking hell, he's a big unit. And they seem to have a future at the club, because if they keep progressing as they have, the sky's the limit for both of them. And there's probably a lot more kids that I don't know about as well, because I've got to be honest, I don't really watch the under-18s and the under-21 stuff very often. So it's almost like a nice surprise when somebody breaks through for me. But those guys, and as you mentioned, Curtis Jones, he should definitely get some time against Chelsea, in my humble opinion. Joseph said the Irish keeper was actually an outfield player, but they had no goalkeeper one match, so he jumped in, and Bob's your uncle. Fair play to the kid. Would you believe, Joseph, hand on heart, that's how I started playing in goal as well. The goalkeeper was out one day and I went in for a game, and that was it. I was in then for the rest of my fucking life, pretty much. Farrell said, I woke up a little late on 9/11, didn't realise I knew somebody that worked in one of the insurance companies above the American airline plane strike. I didn't know him well, but it was still tragic. Never found him. Fucking hell. I can't even think of what his loved ones must have went through. Not being able to recover the body as well. Fucking hell, that must have been, it must be so tough. There are some militaries that are radicalised fight that doesn't exist. It's true. It is fucking true. If you look from a very simplistic version of things, if you're in a country where you're being piped propaganda all the time, and when we think of propaganda, we often think of, let's look at this from an American perspective, because it's probably the easiest way of describing it. So if we're talking about a country who is putting propaganda out to their citizens, we're probably thinking of how great is our country, America are the evil empire of the world, they want to kill all of us, blah blah blah. So when you come from that country, you believe this because that's all you've ever been told, all you've ever been shown, and all that you've ever known is that your country is great, you're the best in the world, the king or whoever, or the leader loves you, and these evil Americans, and I'm just using America as an example here, I have to reiterate that they're here to take all your food away from you, they're here to kill you, they want to destroy your country, they're stopping us from blossoming as a nation. So when they're then released out into the fucking world, they're angry and they want to take retribution. Now flip that around to the Western world, and look, we have propaganda put out to us every single fucking day in the news. Some news stations are left wing, some news stations are right wing, but either way, we're being steered in a certain direction. And a very interesting example of this I found has been the whole Serena Williams incident. Whatever your opinions of it are, that's up to you, but we've seen certain news agencies be pro Serena Williams and certain be not so much against, but a little more critical of her. And I found it a very interesting view on society just to look at this incident and kind of read into what people are saying about it. Particularly the thing between the WTA and the ITF. I think the difference of the two statements there were unbelievable. The WTA kind of fully backing Serena Williams and what she said, and the ITF backing Ramos the umpire, and rightly fucking so, because he did his job. So again, very simplistic, but that's kind of an explanation of how people can get radicalised in a very, very simplistic way. Did Craig just say it's 112 for the Garda? First I heard of that. Mad. All emergency services in Ireland are 112. Although people still just ring 999. It's fucking mad, isn't it? But it's 112, yeah. You might as well fucking not ring the Garda though, to be fair, Joseph, because most of the time they're fucking useless. Was 70 miles away from it in Southampton, Long Island, and trust me, the feeling here was shock and what the fuck is going on, said Thomas Boland. I can imagine it was, Thomas, mate. I can imagine it was scary stuff indeed. Teo said, let's send out a statement to the rest of the Premier League and wipe Spurs out at Wembley at Anfield South. We are Liverpool. Absolutely. We are Liverpool, and we're going to go there to Wembley and we're going to come home with the fucking 3 points. You can believe that shit. I'm going to have to rewatch that, said Ryan. If you're talking about being Liverpool, man, don't put yourself through it. Fucking hell, don't put yourself through it, Ryan. Please don't. Thomas Boland, I visited friends in New York, made new ones, but didn't see them often afterwards. One of the best I met was lost in a tower, never found his body. Love the Springsteen song, Missing about 9/11, so touching and poignant, and how people's lives are affected, said Damo. I've never really been one for Bruce Springsteen, mate. How mad is that? I should be, because he's one of the fucking best there ever was, but never been a Bruce Springsteen fan. Raptor, thank you for dropping in, buddy. Talk to you soon. And thank you for the video as well, just in case I didn't get a chance to send it to you earlier on. I really enjoyed it, thank you. The Elon Musk episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Ryan, I'm halfway through it. It is fucking brilliant. The stuff about AI is freaking the shit out of me, I have to say, Ryan. The stuff about artificial intelligence and how that could lead in the future. Oh, that is... If anybody doesn't know what Ryan and I are talking about, the latest Joe Rogan Experience podcast has Elon Musk on, and it is some of the most interesting conversation I've ever heard. It is absolutely amazing stuff. I'd urge anybody to listen to it. It's completely free. The Joe Rogan Experience. Check out that podcast. In particular, the episode with Elon Musk. Absolutely brilliant. Curtis Jones will definitely be in the first team next season, said Skipper Dog. Remember when we had a keeper injured and Jose Enrique, not Luis Enrique Demo. I always make that same fucking mistake. How mad is that? I always call Jose Enrique Luis Enrique. Was shoved into goal. I do remember that, mate. Am I mad here, or was Rio Ferdinand, did he go in goal for United at one point as well? I could be just completely making that up. Ah, Craig, you're a funny man. Garda shit in the corner. That's a good explanation, mate, or a good description, I should say. Sorry. I was meaning rewatch your rant at the beginning, as I was missing. Don't. It wasn't a rant so much as me just moaning at two pricks that were coming on trying to be smart. It's not worth watching back, trust me. If I could go back again, I would have started the stream differently. It's kind of thrown my mind for the entire stream because I hate not getting off to a good start. Keane said, is it just me, or does anyone agree that this match is more than a 3-pointer? I feel that if we win this weekend, it puts pressure on City to win, and to win every game this season is ideal. We are Liverpool. Yes, Keane, I get where you're coming from. I've said time and time again this week, if we go down and get 3 points against Spurs, we have a 6-point gap over Spurs, a 6-point gap over United, 6-point gap over Arsenal, 2 points over Manchester City, of course, who still have to go and play that weekend, and we have no points over Manchester or over Chelsea and Watford, but Watford are playing United, so could possibly drop points. So yeah, it's a big game. I get where you're coming from. It is possibly more than a 3-pointer. A win would be massive. A win would really send out a statement and would really give the players belief going forward that we can really do this season. Squism said, I don't want a close win on Saturday. I'll be disappointed with a close win. I want a Spurs kicking to put Kane in his place. Yeah, it'd be sweet, wouldn't it? I really fucking would. The excuses though, you could almost imagine what they'd come up with after the game. Oh, they'd have to have been robbed. Even if they lost 4-0, Harry Kane couldn't just take that with good grace. No, they'd have to have been robbed. I'm starting to think the elite are trying to replace us with AI. Don't have to pay them, feed them, don't need sleep, housing, healthcare, won't rebel. I don't know about the last bit, Farwell. The last bit may well be completely the opposite. They very well might rebel, and they could be uncontrollable. They're always teaching themselves, they're always learning, they're always progressing, they will just become more intelligent than us, unstoppable, and it's fucking scary. Ryan said, I listened to the whole episode whilst on a walk, and I liked the Tunnel's Tesla talk. Tesla talk. Yeah, he's a mad fucker, isn't he, Elon Musk? He's an absolute dreamer, but a dreamer that follows through. You gotta love him. And he smoked weed as well, which is fucking excellent. He had a bit of a joint with Joe Rogan as well, which is class. Which the beauty of that is, of course, that it's perfectly legal where they are, so they weren't even breaking the law. They were just kicking back, drinking whiskey, smoking a J, and chatting about the world. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Have you been to Ground Zero? I've never been to New York, Stephen. and all the trips I've made to America have always been to Florida. So no, mate, haven't been to Ground Zero. I don't know if I'll ever go to New York either, to be honest. It's a bit too busy for me as a city. My anxiety got through the roof surrounded by that many people. But if I ever did go, yes, 100%, of course, I'd go and pay my respects. Where else are we? John O'Shea, said Skipper Dog. Yeah, I think you're right on that one, actually. He did go and goal at one point. Fuck him, said Ryan. Fuck him indeed. Fuck him. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. Yeah, that keeps popping up my YouTube recommendations. We'll watch his class Rogan. His Conor McGregor accent is funny. Even if you want to just listen to it, Joseph, if you're out and about, you can get the actual podcast just on the pod players, on iTunes or whatever you listen to your pods on. It's fucking brilliant. Bear in mind though, all his podcasts are usually somewhere between 2 and 3 hours long. Come on, you Red, said Gary. Great to have you with us, Gary, mate. How are you? I always find it interesting that people drop in at different times through the streams. You can nearly set your watch by the likes of Gary. He's always in and around the same time. It's great to see, because just as you think you've got through everybody in the chat, in pops a couple more people that you haven't spoke to, and it's great to catch up. It's mad that we all almost know each other. I won't say personally at this point, but there's very few people in the chat who we don't recognise. And if they are new people who pop into the chat, they very quickly become assimilated into the group, and we all become kind of friendly very quickly. It's fucking brilliant. It's one of my favourite things about YouTube, getting to come on here and do this every single night and get to know people and meet new people and get to tell people that they're cunts and fuck off and get to deal with some trolls and get the thumbs down. It's all fun. It's all laughs. It's all jokes. And some people just take life too fucking seriously. Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo were two good fighters back in the day. Fighters? Joe Rogan's a stand-up comic. Yeah, he's a cool dude though. Fucking love Joe Rogan. What I meant, Craig, was I think it's the dream of the rich to replace problematic humans with automated servants. They think it'll be bliss, but as you said, could be the worst nightmare. I often think about this, Farrell. I think about the whole 1%ers, or even the top 5% of the world having so much of the money. And look, I don't know the statistics, but I think about how unfair it really is. And how at times you hear people who are so wealthy investing in stuff. And let's look at Ireland as an example. So Ireland's, the bondholders got burned here in Ireland the time before the Celtic Tiger went down the fucking toilet. And basically the deal was that the bondholders had to be protected. So if their investment went tits up, they had to be paid back. And I find this shit hilarious, and it happens more and more and more from what I'm reading, that if really wealthy people invest their money in something, they want to guarantee that if it goes tits up, they get their money back. None of us in life get that. Can you imagine going into Paddy Power and saying, do you know what, Paddy, look, there's 500 and I'm sticking it on that horse at 10 to 1, and if it doesn't come in, I want me 500 back. It just doesn't happen to regular folk. So why the fuck should it happen to these people? They feel like they have a God-given right to keep money forever once they have it. And the rest of us just have to wallow each year as shareholders get paid out higher dividends, the middle gets squeezed, wages get lower. We all struggle while these people keep making more and more and more profits every fucking year to please shareholders and have to have record numbers year in, year out, while the rest of the world are struggling to raise money for fucking charities. Hospitals are struggling to stay open. Schools are having to beg basically at times for fucking donations to get the basics. People are waiting in the halls in hospitals, they can't get a bed. It's ridiculous. People are dying because they can't afford treatment. Whilst the elite, as you're talking about, Far Isle, are just swanning around with more money than they know what to do with. And the rest of us are fucking sitting here with our hands out basically. Like, it's something will happen at some point in the world. It won't go on forever. People cannot just have so much and there be so little for the rest of the world. It's not a democratic society. I don't give a fuck what people say. And again, something I'm absolutely not qualified to talk about. and very, very simplistic view, because I don't know enough about it, but it just seems mad that so few people can control so much of the wealth in the world. Keane said, ideal situation, Liverpool 5, Spurs 0, Salah hat-trick, Mane and a Spurs own goal, knowing that Harry Kane might claim the goal. I'd love for Lloris to experience something worse than the hangover. I fucking really want these 3 points, guys. I really want them. How do you cope at busy airports, Craig, Steve? Usually we get some, I won't say assistance, it's not the right word. At times there are rooms in airports. Some airports have sensory rooms and stuff, so I try and keep myself away from it until the very last second. So I either try and get on the plane right at the first boarding or right at the very end. And it's the most stressful part of any of my holidays, Stephen. It's the part I struggle with the most, and my wife, God love her, puts up with an awful lot of shit with me going through airports. Did I hear something about your man that was smoking weed got in a bit of shit for that? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it. And if he did, it's just because there's always some fucking pricks that get offended over everything. And at the end of the day, Elon Musk has so much fucking money that he doesn't have to listen. And again, this kind of goes in the face of exactly what I was talking about a few minutes ago. But nah, fuck him. If he got a bit of shit for it, I thought, he gives a fuck. It's a bit of weed at the end of the day, so fuck him. And I don't mean fuck Elon Musk, I mean fuck anybody that's moaning about it. They should have better things to complain about. Tesla was what's that word? I don't know what you're trying to say there, Paul, so I'm gonna have to skip, buddy. Have to fly Qantas, shop at Kmart. Who's on first? Qantas, aren't they the safest airline? Qantas the ones that have never had a crash or a major air incident. Markovic got dropped to the under-23s today. Good enough for him. Him not taking that move to Anderlecht fucking stinks. It really does. For Anderlecht to come out and say it as well, like something, there's no fucking reason for him to have stayed here. It would have been made perfectly clear to him that he wasn't going to get a look in. Far Isle said, I love to study the French Revolution. Today is so similar in that a tiny frightened minority of wealth fears the rabid masses. All it would take is a spark, so they dream of a way around the spark. That's something I look at with regards to our attitudes. So the French are far more volatile, maybe the Spanish and actually Central Europeans in general. We're too polite in Ireland and the UK, I think. We accept things too much. We don't argue enough. We don't complain enough. I do, trust me, I'm a fucking narky cunt. But in general, I think we let the government away with too much. I think we just accept too much and can't be arsed to stand up for ourselves enough. Whereas the French particularly, they'll fucking burn the country down. Those fuckers don't care. They'll block the ports, close the airports. If they feel hard done by, they're going to let people know about it. And that's fucking right. You know, I fully back the French in that sense. Every time we put a question into the internet or post our thoughts, we created AI. It'll be something with perfect memory. And that's what he was saying, Ryan, in the podcast, which of course you know because you listen to it. We're basically creating the opening stages of AI where they have this unlimited amount of information and they can predict what we're going to do, want, like, hate, love before we even know about it. Nuts. When you talk about stuff like this though, Ryan, and you listen to people like Elon Musk talking about it, I don't know about you, but it really lets me know how limited my intellect is compared to some people in the world. Man, there are some very intelligent human beings out there. This is what I meant, Craig. They're waiting for technology to do the work they refuse to do, and they don't want an uncontrollable population doing it, thus the push for AI. Every time I see AI, I keep saying, well, why the fuck are people talking about Anfield Index? I always get confused when I see AI on the news or anywhere. I'm always going, why are people talking about Anfield Index? Stealthful said, I used to work in investment banking, Craig, but left as the people are pure evil in there, all about money, totally devoid of all humanity. I don't get that. I really don't. Look, I'm all for getting a few bob, don't get me wrong. Just, you should never have to apologise for making a few quid, but fucking hell, like, to be that self-centered or egotistical or hard, cold, I don't know, it wouldn't be me anyway. Fucking sociopaths, basically. Would you try a sensory deprivation tank, Craig? Absolutely. Absolutely. My mind is open to everything. I would absolutely do a sensory deprivation tank, 100%. My mind is completely open. I would try yoga. I would try meditation, tai chi, sensory deprivation tanks. Absolutely anything, mate. My mind is always open. Never close it off to anything other than yeah, well, no, I don't even want to say that. Hilarious if Markovic thought he'd get in front of Salah. Yeah, there's not a fucking hope. Craig, you never said a truer word. I don't know what that was about because I've said so many things tonight, Joseph, but thank you. It's because Ireland and the UK are islands. Being on the continent, it was easier to invade, cross borders, fuel descent. Central Europe has so much experience with land incursion / invasion. A very, very good point. Wow. You're really on the money here, Farrell. You seem like a very interesting dude. I hope we do get to meet up when I'm in Orlando because yeah, I feel like I know you already, man, so it'd be great to meet up and say hello. Damo, great to have you with us again, buddy. Always a pleasure. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, my friend. What's the latest on Brexit and the whole transfer situation? Me on Brexit, you're asking the wrong person, buddy. I'm Irish. We're not leaving Europe. Although, in saying that, Irexit, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce it, but basically, some fucking lunatics went and started an Irish EU exit party over the past week. So yeah, they've no fucking hope of getting us to leave Europe. This country has got infinitely better since we joined the EU. Although in saying that, prices have gone through the fucking roof, but our standard of living has definitely improved since we joined the EU. From when I was a kid, anyway. I'm not saying there aren't people in the middle that are really struggling at this moment in time, but from my memories of being a kid to now, it's a lot easier to tick along. Gosh, I've managed quite a bit of time here between running all these duties. Nice, said Farrell. You're on fire, mate. Absolutely on fire tonight. You're doing it. I'm wondering, perhaps, have you taken the what was that pill? The limitless pill. Is that it? Have you taken one of those today, Farrell? Is that why you're on fire? We will meet in Orlando, and you'll be like, Christ, you never shut up. Trust me, you know me by now. If I think you talk too much, I'll tell you to shut the fuck up in a nice, polite way. There is a game on. There's a game on in Orlando when I'm there. I think it's their last regular season home game. But if that's not your thing and you want to meet up and do something else, buddy, I'm all for it. Just let me know. It's getting close now, actually. 27 days or something. I can't wait till it go over. Paul said, I like my conspiracies. Elon Musk, apparently Angela Merkel's son, and when Tesla died, his work got seized and given to Donald Trump's uncle. That's definitely some conspiracy theory shit. I try not to go down those rabbit holes, Paul, because my mind would just wander all over the place if I start thinking about stuff like that. Squism said, night all, off to listen to that Elon Musk podcast. I always enjoy smart people talking about big ideas. Then what the fuck are you doing on here, Squisms? Listen to me. Jesus Christ. I couldn't be any further from smart person talking about big issues. I am a very small, tubby little Irish fool talking about very small issues. Before anybody heads off tonight, if you have a second and you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do so. And of course, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please take a minute to do that. We're gonna try our best to hit 4K before the end of the weekend. It's a big fucking ask, especially with how quiet Liverpool social media has been, but we're going to try our best with the watch along. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please take a second to do so. And as well, just while we move into the last 20 minutes or so, I will stick in the PayPal and Patreon stuff into the chat if anybody wants the links. Farwell said, yes Craig, let me know what that game is so we can get tickets sorted. Would love to see Orlando play. I will. Whatever game it is, it's the last game of the regular season for them, and it doesn't look like they're going to make the playoff, so I'll check it out. As long as it isn't United, I'll watch almost anything. It definitely isn't United, but I will let you know. I'll have a look, and I can't remember. I'll be guessing if I tried to tell you who it was. Craig, you're the smartest man I know. Jesus Christ, buddy, you need better mates. If I'm the smartest man, I'm clearly am, but I'll take the compliment. I'll take it. I appreciate it. Thank you. The American taxpayers subsidise Tesla, so I own Tesla, says Frederick Ross. Cool. That's actually a really cool thing if they do subsidise it, and the American taxpayers do have a stake in Tesla. That is actually a cool thing. At least they're a company who are trying to fucking do something or trying to change the world. I don't know too much about Elon Musk or Tesla, but from the very outside looking in, they look like they're pushing the envelope and trying to do really cool stuff. Kean said, come on guys, get to 4K. It would be ideal to see a smile on red faces when Anfield Agenda make it to 4K a full time when Liverpool win. 3.8K would be great as well. We seem to have been stuck between 3,700 and 3,800 for a longer period than we've been stuck on any numbers. It's nuts. We've flown along, and then it's got really quiet, of course, at the international break. Completely understandable. But this last 100 subscribers has been a never-ending push to try and get past 3,800. I've no idea where we are now. We probably lost a couple on this stream because of the interaction we had at the start. I've no doubt we lost a couple, but you know, that so be it. But if you are watching, guys, do hit that subscribe button. It makes a world of difference to us. I'm gonna blow your mind. I'll send you links to something mind blowing. Oh no, don't, mate. Seriously, don't send me the links. I don't want to read that stuff because I'll be lost for days if I start thinking about it. I feel like I will have news for you guys about the new show that's going to be starting on Sunday as well. And don't forget, on Thursday we've got another video podcast. It will be myself, it'll be a new guy, Joseph, who you haven't met yet, and it will be Cash. So I'm really looking forward to that one, and I hope you can join us then as well. 8:15 on Thursday for that. Tempted to make more accounts and subscribe. Right now, if you want to know, you're at 3776. So I was spot on. We did lose 2. We lost 2 subscribers since the start of this stream. No doubt who they are. It's fucking obvious who they are. But look, it is what it is. We have 3,776 absolutely wonderful subscribers, and we're grateful for every single one of them. Ever since they did that bot cut at Twitter, I've been stuck between 2,730 and 2,750 for weeks. I can feel your pain. Look, this is going to sound like an absolute first world problem for our mate, so please don't think I'm being a prick here, but on Twitter we've been stuck at 26.9k like you for fucking ages, and I want to get to 30k, and we're like 3,000 off, or 300? Yeah, 300 off it. 3,000, 300, 3,000, 300, 3,000, 300. Oh, 26, 26. Yeah, we're 3,000 off it. I really want to get to 30k. It sounds like a fucking real first world problem, but we've been stuck for ages, just like you, and we would have been there only for that Twitter cut, but the cut was probably a good thing, to be fair. They were removing inactive and robot accounts, so it probably was a good thing. Will Lucas make an appearance on the new watch along? He will at some point. I said that to my wife as well. I may have to bring him in for a couple of minutes at some point, just to let him say a quick hello. It'll be really quick because dude doesn't sit still. Khalil said, hey guys, just got in, how's it going? Very well, thank you. Khalil, great to have you in again. I hope you're having a good day. Are you going to do a quick video from the Orlando match at half time? I have a bit of a plan actually. I was going to bang out an email to Orlando City to see if I could perhaps get an interview or something when I'm over there, or maybe even get a look around to do a bit of a video on it, because I'd love to get a look at the club and get a look at how it's run and stuff like that. So yes, definitely be doing something over there. Live, I don't know. I'll probably record it and put it out later on, because if I do it live, fucking hell, it cost me a fortune. The charges for roaming over there, man, I'd be absolutely hammered. But I will record something, definitely. If myself and Far Isle meet up and go to the game, we will record something, but I'll probably post it out a bit later on when I get back to the house. They'll come crawling back. This channel is too cool. Thank you, Frederick. That's really kind of you, mate. And fuck them. Anyway, don't want them back. They were two arseholes that one of them was having a go at me for being oversensitive, but yeah, he's the one here, unliking the channel, calling me a fucking prick. Well, he didn't call me a prick, to be fair. He called me something else, I can't remember what it was, and hitting the thumbs down button. So fuck him. We don't want him back. We want people who are gonna add to the chat. We want people who are gonna make people feel welcome in here. So fuck him. Craig, it's so annoying. It happens to me on Instagram. I lose followers, then I have a few, or get a few. It's shit, Tony, isn't it? I mean, we all have these issues on social media. How fucked up are we though, that we crave this acceptance, or we crave this liking from other people who we don't really know? It is madness when you break it down. You might be able to blag a media pass. You know me too well, Connor. You really do know me too well. I feel like that there's an email to be written there, actually. I might have a little look at it later on tonight. You do know me far too well, Connor. Good stuff, said Skipper Dog. Yeah, it'll be fucking great. I love meeting up with people when I'm over in England, America, wherever it is. Just to finally get to shake the hand of somebody who you've had chats with on YouTube or had chats with on Twitter, it's fucking class. Right guys, last 15 minutes, what do you want to talk about before we finish up tonight's stream? It has been a weird stream because a lot of it hasn't been Liverpool related, because we've gone off on a bit of a tangent. We spoke about Elon Musk, we spoke about the Joe Rogan podcast, we spoke about a few other things as well. We spoke about money, which is mad. We spoke about how very few people control wealth. We have so many different things. It's been absolutely madness, but still time, still 15 minutes left. What do you want to have a chat about? Connor said, you'll send an email and end up getting a media pass, full access to the players, a free season ticket and 10% of the club shares. Yeah, something like that. I'm looking forward to Friday, Connor, when this dude comes out that I spoke about earlier on from the furniture store. This is going to be interesting. Ironically, Craig, following up with the young Irish players coming through, we've strong roots with the Reds. Not much young Irish players play for the Blue Shite, do they? I don't know, is the honest answer, Keane. I know quite a few Everton fans who are Irish. A lot of them would be older than me, to be fair. Connor knows an Everton fan as well, who's younger than me, actually, quite a bit younger than me. He's also an absolute prick, to be fair, but yeah, Connor knows that dude as well. But I don't know if we've got many Irish over there, although look, Seamus Coleman played for them, and a couple of other Irish internationals played for Everton as well, didn't they? Trig Gibson played there, what's his face, McGeady played there, although I know McGeady isn't Irish, but played for Ireland. JC said, are you not doing podcasts anymore, Craig, mate? Haven't seen them in ages. Unfortunately not, no mate. It was a tough decision to make, it really was. But we decided that we're going to become a fully fledged YouTube channel, and we've moved our podcasts on here, and we're going to be doing video podcasts from now on. I know it will affect some people who like to listen to the audio ones, and I apologise for that, but the workload was getting too much between running the YouTube channel, doing the podcasts, putting them out in both formats. It was just taking up too much time, and both were suffering. So because of that, we made the decision to just push ahead as a YouTube channel. So yeah, I hope you can come over here and watch the video podcast, mate, and I hope you still enjoy them. If you can't, I completely understand, but I do apologise. It wasn't an easy decision to make. Happy birthday, Craig. Good night, guys. Thank you, Frederick, mate, and we'll talk to you really soon. He's only a bollocks, said Connor. I don't think he has any idea what he's in for, Connor. He's probably expecting two really nice, polite, happy people here to just come and talk about it with, but he's in for a fucking shock because I've already got lists made up. I've been on the consumer right websites. I've got my shit ready. Kevin Sheedy, Shane Duffy, another one. Yep, spot on, Niall. Kevin Sheedy. I'll always love Kevin Sheedy for the goal against England in Italia 90. Forever has a place in my heart just for that skipper dog. Connor said, by the way, on the podcast thing, if anybody ever does want to download the audio from our video podcasts, you can use a YouTube to MP3 converter, which of course are readily available. Have a check in your app store. There's loads of them about. James McCarthy, yeah, another one, absolutely spot on. Titanic, Tesla, Paul McCartney died September on 9/11/1966, and you have to look at Antarctica. Okay, I've given up. That definitely wasn't meant for me. Farwell said, P.S. I'm a YouTube Red subscriber. This allows me to run YouTube in the background with audio still playing. Ah, nice. No commercials either, so being worth the $9.99 a month. Interesting. I'd heard about YouTube Red Farwell, mate, but I honestly didn't know what it was. Nice. That's good though. I'm glad that you can do that. You can pop out and about and do a few bits and still have us on in the background. Nice one. Papot, mate, pleasure, and we'll chat to you tomorrow. Guardians of the Galaxy is on, and you reminded me of us winning the title. How did I remind you of us winning the title? I don't know, either way it's a fucking nice memory to have though. I understand that completely. I'll definitely try to catch up on YouTube. Been with you since Talking to Terrace, mate, and love your content. Thank you so much, JC. That's really kind of you, mate. I can promise you it was a really tough decision because I fucking love making podcasts, and that's where I started really with Liverpool content properly. I wrote a little bit, but podcast was where I started out. It's a tough one. I can see myself making another podcast in the future, although the podcast won't be Liverpool related if I make it, but I can see myself going down that route again. I have a few more itches that I need to scratch, but thank you for being with us since the start, mate. That's really kind. And I hope you can get a chance to jump over and check out some of the YouTube stuff, because we've got some great shows planned for the season, some new people to come in and make the content with us as well, and a bit of an announcement to be made actually in the next couple of days about a new show. What else we got? I needed to use a phone for other things, but normal YouTube usage, the audio and video should pause. This way with Red I can still hear audio, so like a podcast when needed. I get you. There's been some times where I've been in the kitchen making dinner or something and I've automatically put something on YouTube and then I lock my phone, which I always tend to do if I'm playing a podcast or something. And then of course it shuts down and I realise it's no longer a pod, I'm actually using YouTube, so I completely understand why you do it. Ah, Yondu is a Guardian of the Galaxy with the red mohawk. Yeah, I get you now, mate. I've been with you since the Wolves. Took me forever to be sure you were one and the same. Yeah, Anfield Road Wolves, man, that was fucking fun. We had some great times on there. It didn't end too well, but we had some great times on there. I love making this content, but I have to be honest, of all the things I've done with podcasts, and I've made, edited and produced over, I think about 300 podcasts now, 300 podcast episodes, I think, in and around that. But from the moment we started on YouTube, it's been a different experience for me altogether. I absolutely adore it on here. May not ever be anywhere near as successful as the podcast got to. We may be, who knows, but I love this. I absolutely love being on YouTube. It's something I thank Connor for literally the other day for giving us the push to come over here, because it's been a massive change for me. It's changed my entire fucking life. It's given me structure. It's given me an outlet to talk to Liverpool fans in real time. Whereas with podcasts, you have to wait for the feedback and stuff. But here, everything is live. If someone wants to come on and call me a prick, they can do it straight away. They don't have to wait a week or send me an email. It's great. I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. Talk to you tomorrow, Paul, mate. Great to have you with us as always, buddy. And go get some rest. Apparently, if you press the lock button twice, it plays the clip in the background. But when an advert comes up, it stops. Interesting. Must try that one. It's mad. All these tips. I love all these tips. Somebody had something last night they wanted us to talk about for the last 15 minutes, and I said I'd do it tonight, and I'm trying to remember what it was. What was it? Do you know what? We'll play. I have a question here. I have a question that we can do. Okay, where is it? For the last 15 minutes, right? Let's go with this one. Notes deleted. Okay, here we go. I can't remember who asked this one, but let's go with this one for the last 15 minutes. Which 3 Liverpool players, past or present, would you have over for dinner, and what would you cook? So there you go, there's a question. Which 3 Liverpool players, past or present, would you like to invite over for dinner, and what would you cook? I think I was asked this one previously on a podcast. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's a really interesting question, and it'll kind of give me an insight into your mindsets as well. So, good question. If you have an answer, let me know. If you don't, of course, no problem. I don't know if it was the WWE characters, Keen. I can't remember. Although WWE did pop into my head when I was thinking about it. So it could have been something to do with walk-on music or something. Did you hear about the Tesla having Easter eggs? That's completely gone over my head, Ryan, mate. Did you hear about the Tesla having Easter eggs? Man, I don't get that at all. Didn't they make fucking... Elon Musk said on the podcast that he made fucking flamethrowers. They made 1,000 flamethrowers or something. Fucking dude is a nutcase. In a great way, like. Connor, if you were to have 3 Liverpool players over for dinner, buddy, who would it be, and what would you cook? Is it 1 course, or can we have multiple courses? 3 courses. Let's say 3 people, 3 courses. Right, I'll try and go first then, since nobody's put one in the chat yet. So I would go with... Oh, no, here we go. Oh, he said explicitly they were not flamethrowers. Yes, he did have to say that, didn't he? For customs and clearance, they were not flamethrowers. Right, so I would have Graham Souness. Who else would I have? Oh, I'd have... Yes, that's a good idea, actually. I'd have Graham Souness, I'd have Kolo Touré, and I'd have... Who would be the third person? I want to think about this one carefully. Graham Souness, Kolo Touré, and Didi Hamann, probably. I do think Didi Hamann's good crack. So yeah, Graham Souness, Didi Hamann, and Kolo Touré. That would be the 3 I'd have. I've no idea what I'd cook. I'd probably just get a fucking takeaway. Connor said I'd just have El Hadj Diouf and cook a nice vat of shit for him. And then just ram his face into it repeatedly. What a prick he is. Why Souness? I just think he'd be really interesting and have really strong opinions. Joseph, I'd just love to get his view on football, on the world, and I reckon he'd start a good old row as well at the table. I do like a good old row. Paul, how are you? Paulie Worrell said, "What's up, all you legends? What is up with you, sir? Great to have you back." Keane said, "I'd have Suarez, Sturridge and Lucas Leiva." Yes, well in. Do like me a bit of Lucas Leiva, top bloke. Paul said he'd have Xabi Alonso, Luis Garcia and Pepe Reina and cook lasagna. Nice. Connor's going with the nicey-niceys. He's having Mo Salah, Kolo Touré and Andy Robertson. Imagine the positivity in that room. Oh, that would be a massive love-in, definitely. It'll be a quiet one though. You know Colo Touré is gonna tell a few jokes though and have a few stories. And you can see you've got Colo Touré in there, and then you just look up and Yaya's at the window like. Just go and pull the curtain down and say, fuck off, Yaya. No cake for you. Damo said, back in the chat because I couldn't sleep. I'd cook a chili with chicken wings from Mark Gonzalez, the fastest winger in Chile. Oh, what a disappointment, Damo, he was. Such hype when he came in. Or maybe it's just because we needed that left-sided player so badly that we just wanted him to succeed. So Ryan is having Stevie G, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Milner and doing a beef Wellington, sir. Very, very snazzy indeed. Not an easy thing to cook. Very hard to get the beef done correctly, so not an easy dish. So you're backing yourself there, Ryan. I do like a man with a bit of confidence well in. Name my first son after him. I know he wasn't the best manager, but what a fucking player. I hope we're still talking about Souness here, but yeah, an absolute beast. And we just get Happy Meals, said Connor. Would you have a race to see who would make the toy up first? Oh no, it's not a Kinder Egg, Craig. What are you talking about? Scratch that last comment, Connor. Do you know what though? If you get a Happy Meal, Connor, and any of them get the fruit bag instead of the fries, fuck them out. I mean, you can't be trusting people who don't get chips and get a fruit bag. That shit doesn't wash. I'd bring the Brazilians. They might have good contacts, said Skipper Dog. Hashtag after party. Hashtag Allison. Hashtag sex tape. For Suarez, I'd give him my shoulder. For steroids, I'd give him some milk for calcium for those bones, as well as some chips, like against Bayern Munich. And for Lucas Leiva, I'd make him whatever he wants, because dude fucking deserves it. Craig, you actually looked like Baldy's Basic there. Funny. I don't know what that is. Baldy's Basic. Don't know what it is. I told you, always believe that I'm an idiot that doesn't know stuff, so you gotta just pitch stuff at me. I'd invite any three, feed cold beans and give a sob story about how I need money. Oh, well, Inley, at least you're fucking honest, mate. I do respect you for that one. Happy Meal for Sammy Lee, said Damo. Definitely. And then spitting it, because he went and managed it, or went and became Everton's assistant manager. Little Sammy Lee, God bless him. Connor said Alberto Aquilani, Andy Carroll and Carries, and I'd make the most disappointing food imaginable. A muffin with raisins when you expect chocolate chips. I've got to be honest, man, I don't mind raisins in a muffin. What's your opinion on all these Tottenham fans claiming a rivalry with us? There isn't one, Paulie. There really isn't, mate. They want to be relevant, but they aren't. Not yet. They may be. They've tried to become a big club for the past 5 to 7 years, and look, they've done well in getting to the Champions League, but they've won fuck all. They can tell us that we've won fuck all in the last few years, and they'd be spot on, but we have history. We have massive fucking history. We got to a Champions League final last year. And we just don't view them as rivals, and I don't think we ever will. So fuck them, mate, fuck them. I really don't give a fuck about Spurs fans. Yeah, fuck them, just leave them be. They're not the only ones that are trying to create a rivalry with us that doesn't exist. I'd have Carrot and Crouch for the banter. Oh, Crouchy, yes, I forgot about Crouchy, Niall. Nice one. Who am I getting rid of for Crouchy? I'm gonna finish your comment though. I'd have Carrot and Crouch for the banter and Gerrard because he's the GOAT. Oh God, who am I getting rid of? No, I'm not getting rid of Souness. I'm not getting rid of Colo. Yeah, so I'm going to have Souness, I'm going to have Colo, and I'm going to have Crouchy. Good shout, and Niall. Thank you for letting me know about Crouchy. I completely forgot about him. Can't have a dinner party without Crouchy. Craig, I actually like the tattoos, just seen them there. They're rather nice. Thank you, mate. I have a lot of them, to be honest. This one is a full sleeve, so it goes all the way up. It's really weird because every time I got to raise my arm on the screen, I keep forgetting that it's flipped backwards, so I always do the wrong one. Right, so yeah, as I'm saying, this one is a full sleeve. It goes right around. This one isn't. This one is just a half. It's not fully done yet, but it'll get there eventually. It's been about 45 hours, I think, so far, getting them done. I'd invite Stevie Finnan to see if he's still alive. He's running a property company, I think, if memory serves me correct. Robbie Keane, Steve Finnan and Ronnie Whelan. Going full on Irish there then, Connor. Keeping it green. My bro is a Spurs fan. And does he try and create a rivalry with you, Joseph, that doesn't exist? Apart from a brotherly rivalry, of course. Farewell, time to walk the pooch. You know you got lots of love for me from that one, buddy. Talk to you soon, and I will check out I will check out what that game is and get back to you on it. No seat at the table for Markovic. Not even at the kiddies table, mate. He's not even going on standby. Jan Mulby, he'd conquer all the courses. He'd never fucking stop from starter to dessert. He'd eat the fucking lot. Allez, allez, allez. Jan Mulby, there's a show. I'd say he'd have some good stories though, to be fair, Damo. Oh my god. I've scratch it all. I've got to restart this completely. I'm just realising I'm forgetting about people left, right and centre here. Right, so my new 3 for dinner is Peter Crouch, Colo Touré and Neil Razor Ruddock. How the fuck did I forget Ruddock? That's my 3 for dinner, because that's going to be a fucking night right there. Crouchy, Ruddock and Colo Touré, bang. The stories would be unbelievable. Skipperlog said, it's different for me. Spurs, 2 mates of sport Spurs. One played for him for 6 years, never played for the first team. Both play for Ireland under 21s. The other is heading over on Saturday. Hope he has a shit day. So do I, to be fair. Being honest about it. Hope he has a safe and pleasant journey, but I hope he has a shit afternoon watching the football. Any football related tattoos? Yes, I do. And the ones on my arm have absolutely fucking no meaning, apart from these 2. So I don't know if they come across well there, but you can see that one. There's times on my wrists, and both of those times are the 2 times my kids were born. And yes, I do have a football tattoo. I thought I showed it to you guys before. Let me pull up the image of it and I'll show you before I head off. So my football tattoo is, I'll explain it to you as I put it up. Actually, it's easier to do it that way. It's a nod to the Owen McVeigh Foundation. Where is it? So there it is. So there's my football tattoo. It's fucking so hard to get on the screen correctly. That's the tattoo on my leg. So basically, the little dude, the gingerbread man, is my son because he's got red hair. The road is the autism symbol, so it's me and Lucas walking the road of autism together, and of course Liverpool being at the end of the road, and it's a nod to the Owen McVeigh Foundation. And I have to say, I did contact them before I got the tattoo, just to make sure that they wouldn't be offended by it or anything like that. That's a boss night, Craig. I'm there for that one. It will fucking Ruddock, man. If I could get any ex-Liverpool player on a podcast, most people would go for the Gerrards, the Carragers. I'd fucking love someone like Ruddock just for the stories, because you know he's not going to hold back. That's what I like about listening to Ruddock. He just fucking tells it like it is. Tony Warner as well has some great stories about Liverpool. I'd have David Fairclough hanging on the telephone in reserve just in case someone didn't show up, said Damo. He's always floating around. Liverpool Football Club, Mr. Fairclough, isn't he? Proper legend. Connor said he can't wait to get his Michael Edwards tattoo. You're going to be held to that one, buddy. You are absolutely going to be held to that one. Guys, last shout before the stream ends tonight. If you haven't yet hit thumbs up button, please do so. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, please take a moment to do that. And we welcome you to the channel, of course. The more reds, the merrier. So Sean has gone for Souness, Tommy Smith and Mo Sissoko. Nando's with extra hot peri. Jesus, I can't handle the hot stuff, Sean. I am a plainish guy when I go to Nando's, because me and Heat just don't go together. Interesting combination of Souness, Tommy Smith and Mohamed Sissoko. I loved Sissoko, man. Such a shame when he got that eye injury. He was class. He was frustrating at times, but he was class. What else have we got? Right, I think I've got through all the chat. Go me. Did you see that Neil Warnock, I think his name is, the financial director, went to Aston Villa? Oh no, was it oh fuck, what's his name? Oh Jesus, what's the guy's name? No, what is his name? Oh, this is gonna do my head in now. You've absolutely ruined me. Christian Perthow, thank you, Niall, you fucking legend. Yeah, it was Christian Perthow, that's the one. He went to Villa, yeah. Damo as well. There you go. Oh, I'm so glad you put that in, Niall. That would have done my fucking head in, man, for the night. Nothing worse than finishing off a stream like that and forgetting about a name. It would have drove me mad, so thank you so much. But yes, I did see that, to be honest, mate. I'd have Mighty Red over for dinner. Sorry, I meant for dinner. I'd kick fuck out of him, to be honest, Connor, if he came over. That Mighty Red. Not the person inside it, nothing against whoever standing inside the costume, but as a whole, that fucking mascot does my bicky in. Why we don't fuck Mighty Red? Fuck off, seriously, like just stop. Fucking mascots. Do you know what mascot they should have? Here's fucking 18 league titles and 5 Champions League Asaurus. What it should have been called. Here, hi kids, welcome in 18 league titles and 5 Champions League Asaurus. He's here to do a little dance. Look at all my trophies wiggle. That's pretty much the only type of mascot we should have. You mentioned Jose Enrique before. Didn't he have brain surgery the other week? He did. He has to have radiation or radiotherapy treatment, excuse me, I think. I think there's very few hospitals in Europe that do it, so it looks like he's on the mend, which is brilliant to see. So yeah, Enrique, look, we couldn't get him out of the club at the end. He was the club's table tennis champion and all that, but look, he's an ex-player. Seems like a lovely guy, so great to see that he's on the mend. We forgot Balotelli for dinner, lads, for fuck's sake. Nah, you find him upstairs fucking trying it on with your missus or something, with your daughter. Or you'd go into the bathroom later on and the cunt will have put fucking cling film on the toilet seat or something. And you're pissing and it's bouncing off the walls. Bionic Lol Paul, we have the technology, we can rebuild him. Is there enough food for Robbie Fowler? I'm sure there is, to be fair. He mightn't be hungry. He might have already partaken before he arrived. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm absolutely knackered. I'm going to go down now and listen to the end of that Joe Rogan podcast. So, as always, thank you guys for joining me. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the countdown begins, and I'll be able to tell you guys about the new show tomorrow. I'll make sure I have the details and I'm able to tell you about it. And of course, Thursday we have the next installment of the Cop Council video podcast with myself, Cash and Joseph. 8:15 on Thursday. We hope you can join us for that one. I'll be back tomorrow night at the same time around 9:45. Thanks to everyone for joining in tonight's stream. You're absolutely fucking superstars. Until tomorrow, guys, up the motherfucking Reds.